What's going on, guys? How we doing out there? Happy Friday. Walking Talking is already in the door. He beats me to my own show. Look at that. Welcome, buddy. How you doing? How's it going, man? How's your Friday so far? Or actually, you passed Friday. No, you're like right on the cusp, aren't you? How you guys doing? How you guys doing? So, a little frustrated at the moment. Just before I went to air, so I submitted Volley Village to Apple to get that all nice and verified, and it's fine except for the fact they rejected it. And why they rejected it is why I'm annoyed. So they rejected it because they say they can't find my in-app purchase information. I entered it. I go look, and now all of my in-app purchase information. Hey, man. Hello. How are you? Doing okay. I was doing better 10 minutes ago than I am now. So here's the situation. So I go look at my in-app purchase stuff. Yeah, I look at my in-app purchase stuff, and all of it is now listed. Here you go. Pictures worth 1,000 words. Check this out. So it's like rejected. Right? I got all these little rejection things, right? So I go look at it to try and figure out what's going on. I come down here, and it's rejected my English. It rejected this for whatever reason, right? And what did I do? I did nothing, right? It's been this way for forever, right? It's been fine. So I go around, I ask the all-knowing Google, right, to say what's up with this. And I'm not the only one that's had this situation. I've had other people that have had this situation, and their response is, get this. So what you do is you just add another language, right? And then delete the English one, or whatever one. In this case, for me, it's English, right? Delete the English, right? Then add the English again, put the information back in there, and then delete the extra language that you just tossed in there, right? And then Apple would be happy. What? Seriously? So, that's, you know, that's sort of like, you know, that's the, to me, that's the equivalent of the cop that says, you know, walks up behind your car, oh, sorry, man, pulled you over because, you know, I just busted, excuse me, you have a busted taillight. So they toss out my in-app purchase stuff for some mysterious reason and then tell me that I don't have in-app purchase stuff. I'm getting a Cool Hand Luke kind of feeling here, right? You know, hey boy, what's that dirt doing in my hole? So, but anyways, the nice thing about it, okay, so the silver lining is the fact that they just said I don't have to submit a new build. I just have to correct it, which means I have to go through all of them and then do that little workaround trick, and it should be fine. But yeah, that's kind of annoying. But this is one reason why, if we look at the date up there, right? That's one reason why I pushed it off, right? So number one, gives me a chance to make sure I get out the door. Number two, to start putting the word out for the game. So that will be the game plan. The nice thing too, the cool thing is once the game actually gets the thumbs up, right? Hopefully this is the only thing. So once I get the thumbs up and on the App Store, the iOS version will go into pre-order phase, which would be kind of cool. So for, you know, what, for a 2-week period, anyone will be able to request the game. And I mean, it's still free to play, so it's not like you're purchasing anything. But it will help me once that thing comes up. I'm going to try and get people, hopefully to motivate them to click on that and tell their friends about it. So that way when the game actually hits the ground running, right, when it gets released to the store, it will already have people interested in it. And hopefully that will boost my chances of getting additional exposure from Apple. But we'll see. So, yeah. So that was annoying. And like I said, that was literally just minutes before I went on. So that's why I'm kind of annoyed at the moment. But I'll get over it. So, but finished all the PR, the art stuff, all that kind of stuff. That's all in place now. That's all looking good. We can go back to my Google Play. So if we come back to my main page here, right? So if we come back here, and if we click on the Android, we can look at the Google Play page. And now this is all nice and updated. I got the new icon, and I got all the screenshots, right? And so that's all dropped in. That's all looking good. So if you remember on Wednesday, I was plugging away on that stuff, and they're all done. What I also did, what is this, just looping around? Interesting. Okay. So on the iOS side, you can actually add additional videos, right? So, and on the Android side, you can only send a link to a YouTube video, right? Excuse me, but on the iOS side, you can have 30-second little snippets, right? That will autoplay when someone looks at the screen. So that's kind of slick. So I have a 30-second little segment of gameplay, and then I have the next video is a subset of the gameplay trailer that shows an introduction to how the game plays, and then another one that kind of shows in 30 seconds how to control the villagers and the power-ups. So with 3 videos, if you watch that for a total of 1.5 minutes, you should fully be up to speed on what the game is about and get a sense of it, and hopefully that helps. That's pretty dumb. They should just look at the previous work and let post whatever you want on there. Yeah, I don't know exactly what triggered it, right? I don't, because it's been there for a while, you know, and I mean, you know, as you look at that, there's nothing in here that says why that is now rejected, right? It just says they rejected it, but there's no explanation or justification for it, you know. So as I said, the workaround is this. So you have to go like this. You create like a temporary, right? So then you don't have to do this, but I'm just doing this so I don't lose my data, right? Copy all of this, copy, put that there, right? And make sure this is the same. And then I delete that one, and now I go back and re-add it and go English US, right? And then repost this stuff there, and then make that go away, and then if it's save, let's see. So now it cannot be saved. Try again. Okay. Why not? 99 cents. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, oh, now it's getting more interesting. Now they're saying you have to update it. Okay, let me update it. Oh, you can update that. Just try again. Well, what did I do wrong? Oh, I don't know, but try again. So I can't even update it now. No, look at that. I'm not trying to say Apple's broken, but this is broken. Okay, so just out of curiosity, let's try it this way. Let's just add the UK version. Maybe it just doesn't like America all of a sudden. Okay, so make sure that's right. And now we hit save. And yeah, okay, it likes that. Okay, maybe I had to save it. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, so we got rid of it. Maybe that's it. You have to, oh, that's gonna be so time consuming. So I got like, what, 12 of these things, right? So you have to flip it over to something else, right? And then save it, delete the old one, and then let's see if we add this back. Let's see if this works now. Like this. Alright. Make that one go away. Hit save. Yeah. Okay. So chest of gems, total description. Be visible to your customers. Okay. So then I got to do that for all of these. So that was one. Oh wait. That actually affected everybody. So somewhere along the line, oh no, it's still showing as rejected. Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. So you see this, right? So if you look here, right, everything's fine. Although it shows the message up here, right? But, you know, the little exclamation mark, right, to show that there's something wrong, that's gone now. So you look at it and kind of go, oh, well, they're all fixed now. No, if you go into individual ones, you will see that, oh, no, it's still pissed off about it. So I do have to do that for each one. I have to, like, flip it to a different language, right? Or, you know, a flavor of English, and then flip it back to US for each one of these. That's what it looks like. So if I hit unresolved issue, it's going to just say, yeah, it's a meaningless kind of description there. So, okay, but at least let's see if this one is okay now, or if it's going to complain about this one now too. Yeah, okay, now it's under waiting for review. So it rejected it, but didn't tell me what it liked about it. So this is almost like the MPAA rating system, right? You know, if you submit a movie to the MPAA and they come back and they go, no, we're going to call this NC-17, right? It's like, wait, I just want an R rating. Why am I getting NC-17? Well, we can't tell you specifically what offended us because that would be censorship. So, but it's definitely an NC-17. But what am I supposed to cut? You know? Well, guess, and then submit it to us again, and we'll think about it again. That's kind of what's going on here. It's sort of like, so they rejected it, even though they didn't tell me anything that was wrong with it, and it looks perfectly fine on the surface. There's nothing here that's offensive. It's not like I had any naughty words, right? The math is working, right? You know, 48 plus 12 equals 60, so that's all right. But then they still rejected it just with zero information. All right, Apple. Thank you so much for that. All right. Well, we'll put that away. So, I'm not going to do that now because there's no reason to subject you guys to me just endlessly flipping through and flipping back on all those guys. But thank you so much, Apple. Yeah. You know. So they knocked the silverware onto the floor and then complained that silverware is dirty, right? Okay. All right. I'm off my rant there. Off the soapbox. So, since Volley Village is technically out the door, in spite of what Apple thinks, and all the art stuff is in place, that's all good. So, what do I move on to next, right? Of course, I really want to start on the next game, but I'm not quite fully prepared, just because I have a sense of where I want to go with that, but I don't know if I'm really ready to jump in, at least not on the stream, because that's going to be me just lots of scratching my head. So I need a little more time for that. So one of the things I need to do is come back to Poke with Bob, which is the first game I actually made. This game now dates back to the end of 2010, and I did an update recently, but what I didn't account for was people with their 2x1 phones, right? And I did not know that until somebody actually emailed me and let me know. But this is a 5-card draw game with Bob. Tell you what, let me do this. Let me go sound, turn off the music, and then turn the audio back on. Background music would do like that. Alright, resume game. So you can hear Bob talking. What have I got? Ooh, I got a bunch of garbage here. So it's 5-card draw. You can get a little sense of Bob talking here. Check. Yeah, I'm going to check too.
And you check too. And the moment of truth. You got nothing but a high card.
No, he's got a pair. So this is Poke with Bob. This is my first game. Now, this is a situation where I talked about before. This is my first game, and I farmed out the art content to an incredibly talented artist named Daniel Thomas. And he did an amazing job. Bob looks fantastic. I mean, the polygon count's a little low in this day and age, but you gotta remember, this was designed to run on an iPhone 1, right? And I'm proud to say that it actually did run on an iPhone 1 at 30 frames a second back in the day. So, that I'm pretty proud of. And Bob has 7.5 minutes worth of animation, and that was me. So I did animate him. So, but I wouldn't mind going back. I want to do an update on him, and now that I've got multiplayer working on Bali Village and I have a better understanding, I wouldn't mind doing like a multiplayer mode in this one, which would be a little simpler, a little more forgiving since it's not real time, right? And I would like to plug that back in so people can play against each other rather than just Bob. But no timeline on that. But also once I do that, I'd also like to think about maybe updating Bob to a higher polygon count, smooth them out a little bit, since modern phones can more than handle this bad boy. Since that's pretty much the only thing happening on the screen. I'll check here.
I'll bump it 25.
He bumps at 25. He's got something. Alright, I'm going to stay into this hand even though I shouldn't. Alright, I just finished this hand and I'll quit. I get sucked in, you know, which is a good sign, right? The game has done well over the years, and what's funny is that the people that really like Bob are really fanatical about it, and you know, they'll constantly hit me up with email. And also, you saw that he wiped his brow. So when he starts to get low on cash, he gets more and more shiny. His face gets shiny. He gets sweaty, more sweaty, and then he like wipes his brow more and more frequently. And I still got garbage, don't I? Look at that. I got an ace high. That's nothing.
Back at you with 5.
All right, I'm gonna fold. Listen what he says.
Wuss.
Ha! Wuss. There you go. So there's Bob. So why I'm here is, as I was talking about, was the fact that I've started tweaking this a little bit. But originally what would happen is in a 2:1 ratio, right, on some of those super high-end phones, right, those really pretty ones, what would happen is the cards on the sides would start getting cut off, right? And that was obviously frustrating players because they're having to try and, you know, interpolate what the card is on either end of their hand. So I'm going to try and fix that. So the first thing I did was I just took this guy. So I just started playing with the scale, right? And then originally I had it set up differently, but this one I just sort of scale it back down. So it'll work fine up to a point. You know, so, oops, not on a horizontal. It has to be on vertical. So there's vertical, you know, so there's a wider 3.2, so this would be more like a much more like a iPad kind of thing. Not quite. iPad's a 1.33, but it's pretty close. That's a 1.5. But where we get into trouble would be if we push it up to a 2:1. And then, so the thing you see here now is that the buttons on the top and the bottom are getting dragged towards the middle. And that's something that I'm going to have to address, as well as the actual card play. So, if we look at this now, you watch where see the cards. You can actually see them on the screen. So, and they come way up into the air like that, right? So we got that. That's a problem. The buttons need to be, of course, lower, right, to accommodate that. And then, so what I'm gonna have to introduce is an offset, right? Anytime the screen has a ratio that's more elongated than a 16 by 9 would be, then I need to start offsetting. And this is something I introduced with Volley Village as well, right? So the buttons dynamically adjust depending on the screen aspect ratio. And excuse me, because I was trying to do a quick fix on this guy, I didn't properly test it, and I kind of hard coded it, so it's just set to one thing. So it worked fine. You know, the buttons were kind of floaty a little bit, but I didn't think about the fact that if it got too narrow, it would just cut the cards off, because I don't own a beautiful high-end phone that has a nice 2-to-1 aspect ratio. I have my cruddy Nexus 6, which I still love. Has good resolution, has stereo speakers, and okay, the OS hasn't been updated in forever, but I still love my phone, and it's cheap, which is good. I have a hard time paying more than $200 for a cell phone. I don't know about you guys. I'm frugal, but so as a result, I did not think about testing the 2-to-1 ratio. So this is what I need to address. All right. So I think what I'm going to look at first is my goal. I think is to try and create a invisible widget for the top and the bottom that just offsets when it needs to. So let me see where all these guys are. Let's see if they're grouped at all to begin with, and they really aren't. All right, they just have that one gameplay GUI that's right there, right? If I did something like that, if I scaled it, yeah, if I scale it, it physically stretches it, so that's not an option. So I do need to create invisible widgets for, and then the buttons on the side here, I'm just going to leave those. I'm going to let them float and pop up wherever they pop up. But for all this section at the top and all this section at the bottom, I'll create invisible widgets that'll snap down to the proper position. And that will be the gameplay. That would be the game plan. Gameplay. I've been writing too much game description for the last 2 days for Volley Village. So it's all about gameplay right now. Alright, so let me find everything I'll need. And let me group this all together. So, not betting buttons. That's all here. Is that everything at the top? Okay, that's not everything. So I also need these guys. Gameplay GUI. Oops. Yeah. So I'll need all of these. Yes. And all of these guys. So if I toggle that. Yeah, that's everybody at the top. Alright, good start. So let's grab these and drag them back up here. Alright. So, how do I want to approach this? I think what I'll do is turn this on. Okay. Let me do it this way. Let me switch it to one where it actually works. So, let's see. Vertical. There it goes. Okay. So, pause button. Alright, turn the gameplay, and then we'll turn off main menu for a moment. Like that. Good. Cool. Alright, let's do this. So I'm going to go into my gameplay GUI. Alright. Create an invisible widget. I'm using NGUI, by the way, in case anyone's curious. I know everyone uses UGUI now, but I've been using NGUI for way too many years. Way too comfortable with it. Alright. So, let's see. We'll drop them. When you'll be starting the new game? Maybe today. Maybe if I can get this fix knocked out. I'll show you here just to give you a sneak preview. This is a plugin called Corgi Level. What is it? It's called Corgi something. Corgi something.
Oh, you're kidding me. What?
Corgi Engine. I guess that's it. It's called the Corgi Engine, and it is a fine 2D platforming tool. So I'm thinking about using this, and this is what I was talking about earlier. This is why I decided I wasn't going to jump in directly, because I haven't had a chance yet to play with this since I've been dealing with all of the Volley Village promo art stuff, right? So I haven't had a really chance to jump into this plugin yet a lot. So I don't know if it's going to be exciting for you guys to watch me just kind of dig through. And what I'm going to do is play through this tool, right, and decide if I want to use the Corgi engine to expedite my my game development, or if I'm going to just use it as a template, or just use it as a general reference and roll my own. Haven't decided yet. But you know, just to give you a sense of what the next game will be is, you know, kind of like this, right? A good analogy is like Downwell, if you guys have seen that. Downwell and Spelunky, I think, are two good analogies. So this is Downwell. The key difference for me is my game, you'll actually be starting in the bottom of a planet and trying to work your way up to the surface of the planet. So as this one, you're going down, and of course this one, Downwell, has some really pretty, I think really pretty kind of 8-bit stylized graphics, but you know, and the gameplay is a little hectic. Oh no, excuse me, it's not a little, it's insanely hectic. It's super fast. Starting new already. Starting Paper Fan, yeah. Well, I mean, Volley Village is pretty much out the door, man. So this is what I consider my inspiration. You know, so Downwell and Spelunky. I can't spell. Spelunky. So yeah, I was thinking about making a game where yeah, so you're in like this level with all these platforms, and then you have like two players that are connected together with a wire, and they have to work in tandem. No, I'm kidding. That's no, Player Fan. I'm not Paper Fan. I'm not stealing your game idea, I promise. That's actually Paper Fan's game, which I was checking out his stream last night, and you guys made some serious progress, man. I'm impressed. You guys are doing some good stuff in there. So no, mine is much more of a platformer, jumping, taking stuff out, that kind of stuff. So for me, Spelunky and Downwell are total inspirations. To some degree, I'm going to be pulling some elements from that, but there's still, it's going to be a very, very unique game. The gameplay will be much more, once it ties into the intellectual property that I'm going to be using, you'll see how it'll be different, right? It'll be unique in its own way. So to go back to that, and so to answer your question, Walking Talking, I mean, I don't think I'm really ready to sort of like jump in and start prototyping, because I need to do a little more homework, right? So I mean, that's why I decided I was going to just jump over and deal with Bob getting his GUI updated, right? Since I need to get that done, rather than just kind of sit here and scratch my head and kind of go, okay, I think the game may be like this, because I haven't done a design doc for it yet, which, okay, full disclosure, this will be my 7th game, and I've never done a design doc for a game yet, so which might explain part of my problems right there, but I digress. Because I'm still a one-person team, design docs have not been a big thing for me, and usually I mean, you know, it's pretty much all up in here, right? I have a good sense of where the game should go, except for this next one. You know, I have a sense of the enemies, I have a sense of how the gameplay will be, but I definitely gonna have to do a little bit of, for the first time, a little better sense of planning before I start trying to do some prototyping. So, I mean, if I burn through this, if this goes well, really fast, then I'll start playing with that, you know. And then, like I said, the first step is to look at the Corgi engine properly and deciding if that is going to be an excellent tool for me to expedite. So Paper Fan, if you're still around, man, I'm assuming that you guys are just doing that all from scratch in Unity. You're just rolling your own. You're not using any kind of plugins to help with the, with the platforming stuff. That's my assumption. I think I saw you guys, you had the tile stuff in the corner, so I think you're still using like 2D tile stuff, but I don't know if you're using any kind of additional tools to expedite the platform structure stuff. But I'm thinking about it just because I think, you know, I mean, that'll help me in my development process, because I haven't really done a tiled 2D game yet. So I thought that might help me in my process. All right, so, whoops. I hate that. I don't know why it does this sometimes. When you select an item and you want to zoom in and it just goes off into the universe like that. So let me double click it that way. There. So it's a top button group. All right. All right. Actually, give me 1 sec. I'm gonna flip on my fan. It's starting to get a little warm. All right. Just flipped on the ceiling fan there. So, yeah, we're finally out of the 30-degree weather here in Las Vegas. So it's starting to get up into the 60s. And now I got my tech room all tricked out with so much electronics that if I'm getting warm already and it's only March, oh man, this summer is gonna be brutal. I'm gonna be like down to like the Speedo and nothing else. That'll chase the viewers away or bring me a whole different audience. But I digress. Okay. All right. So best way to address this is let's bring him up here. Put him at 550. That's pretty good. All right. Oh, put him up here. Put him right in the middle. 570. Okay. So 570 would be his base. Oh, let me put it in the main menu group. No, not main menu. It's gameplay. There he is. Oh, let's see. 325. Drop those to 1. Whoa. He's bigger than I thought. Okay. I don't really have to do this. I just like it to be centered, just for my own convenience, but it can literally be anywhere in that section, but I'll leave it like that. Okay. And then we're going to take all these guys and drop them in. So now, in theory, there. Alright. And gameplay GUI should... Nope. Actually, let me do this. If I stretch this, is it gonna... Yeah, good. 720 by 1280. Wow, so what is this? What am I currently set up as? 720 by 1280. Okay. Alright, so let me lock it in. On start, left, right, bottom, top. That's good. Okay. No, I don't want that center. I want that top. And that should be gameplay GUI. Good. Alright. So then, that alone should get me part of the way. Let's see. Just as a test, if we go 2 by 1. Nope. It's busted. What's up with that? Huh. That did not do what I wanted it to. Okay. Let's do it this way. Let's go none. So then, oh, wait, why is that way out there? 720, 1280. That's still gargantuan. So what am I looking at here? Ugh. Maybe it's because we're scaled? Huh. Alright, I don't know why that's coming off so funky, but... we'll just match this. So we'll say it's 410. Ah. $730. Let's try $730. 1, 2. Okay. Alright, so left, right, bottom, top. So now, if we do it this way, 2 by 1. There it is. Oh, but look at that. It's still way off. Okay, yeah, actually, no, I'm sorry, that is what I expected, isn't it? Because I need to offset that. That's right, because that's actually an okay thing. So, 290, 337. Let me make a little cheat sheet here. So 290 is the default. 337 if it goes all the way up to 2x1. So alright, and then what happens if we go the other direction? Nothing. Yeah. Alright, so it only matters if it's going to affect the vertical extreme, like that. And we need to do offsets. Alright. So 177. So 1920 by 1080. It's 177. Okay. So I do have my aspect ratio correct. So if the ratio is greater than 1.77, then we need to start sliding them up. Right? And then the question then becomes how much? Oh, wait a second. I don't have them anchored yet. Wait. We may be okay. Let's see. If we do it that way, then what happens? Whoa. Whoops. Wrong. 21 by 9. Yeah, it just goes off into the stratosphere. So that's still not going to help us. Alright, so why did it go all the way up there? Because that's not even close to being correct. Huh. Strange. Okay. So I guess the option then is if I just leave this floating, if I don't anchor him and just adjust him manually when I need to, that might just be the smartest move. So I have everyone else considered. So I have 3x2. That's all good. Okay. Okay. Then that's what we'll do. Alright, so that's the top buttons. And let's do the bottom buttons. Player cards and Bob cards. Excuse me. You know what, actually, sorry. Launch is coming back on me here. What I may consider doing here is just to make my math simpler, and I like simple math. It's nice that he's up there, but there's no reason for me to have him up there. I could just put him in the center. Because I'm not doing any constraining on him, right? Whoops. Yeah, top button group. There. So that way I can just do simpler math, right? If I was doing it, if I was anchoring this invisible widget, then I would definitely want to have him in the same spot. But because I'm just going to do it this way, then I can just have a simple 0 value, and then I can do an additive when I need to, which in this case would be what? Like 50. Alright. So that gives me something to play with. So, yeah, 177 is 0, and it goes up to 2. So that would be a difference of, what would it be? 0.23? 7, 8, 9. Yeah. So if the aspect ratio increases by 2, 3, then it'll snap them there. Alright. And we'll do the same for the bottom, for the cards. Let's see. Oops. I keep doing the wrong one. Vertical 16 by 9. There it is. Alright, so there's our cards down the bottom. That's good. That's where we want them to be. So, come back here. Let's make ourselves another invisible widget. This guy we'll call bottom button group. Alright. Grab all these guys. Let's see, is that everybody? Yeah. Alright, so then that's the gap I want to maintain. 2, 1, he goes up there. So then, I wonder if negative 50 just, no, yeah. Actually, negative 50 should be the same, so that's cool. I should be able to use the same values in both directions, just positive, negative. That'll make life easier. Alright, so it's 0.23 is a value of 50. Okay, I can make that work. Alright, and then I gotta think about if there's other things that I need to check on, but we'll start with that. Alright, so let's go back to the resolution we know works. Oops. Sorry, gotta fill my drink up. Union break. So what's going on, you guys? You guys got anything going on this weekend? Anything interesting? I think I might celebrate. I think I might celebrate the fact that I got Valley Village out the door. I might celebrate by actually playing some video games myself over the weekend. I think my wife is going to be away tomorrow, so I might just indulge myself and, oh my god, bust out that brand new game called Uncharted 2. Bust out the PlayStation PS4. Sorry. Blow off the dust off the PS4. Pull it out and yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I plug it in and just do some game streaming for a change? That could be kind of fun. I've been doing this for going on over 4 months now, and it's all been game dev stuff. I've not streamed a video game before, so that could be interesting. I have no idea the proper way to do that or not do that, so I'll just make it up as I go along. Okay, so let's get into some code here. What do you say? Let's go to my scripts. Oh, I love this. Look at how few scripts I have too. Oh, that is so nice. It is so nice to open up the script folder and not have 480 different scripts, each one like 10,000 lines long. Oh, Valley Village. All right. So, but then this is also written, this is literally 11-year-old code. That's so, because I started this game back in literally 2008. So my scripts are all over the place. I'm not even sure what does what. Oh, game controller. Oh, but it's JavaScript. Look at that. Wait, I thought I updated that. Oh, please tell me I updated it. I don't want to do JavaScript. Oh no. Did I not update? Oh man. If I'm still doing JavaScript, this is going to get ugly fast. Because Unity doesn't like JavaScript. I'm still in 5.6, so I can at least load it. If I was in 2018, it would actually reject it outright. It's just going to go Unity script. Oh, no. Your droids, I have to wait outside. Your JavaScript, I have to wait outside. Oh. But it still butchers it. I mean, IntelliSense is gone. There's no error code checking. There's nothing in terms of, well, I can get this at least, but there's nothing in terms of the breakdown, right? I mean, you see I have nothing in terms of my drop down to show all my functions and stuff. That's all non-existent. But I thought I updated all these guys to C#. No, I guess I didn't. Wow. All right, so I'm back into the wondrous land of Unity script. Okay. So once again, that also means that, as I was talking about before, all my older games that were all written in UniScript, my first three or four games were all UniScript, and that means I'm gonna have to, in order to get them up to 2018 level, I'll have to rewrite every one of them, from scratch. Which is incentive to leave them as is. But then the downside is that, what is it? Stop the bots. Apple just yanked it off the store. They did. I love this. Apple's like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with the game, okay? The game is functioning fine, right? People play it. You have no errors. You have no bugs, right? It's not breaking. It's not a virus. There's nothing wrong with it. But we're still going to yank it from the store just because you haven't touched it in a long time. So it's perfect. You don't have to change a thing. But go resubmit it just because. So, yeah, that's the quandary I'm at with some of my older games, is that I want to update them, but it'll be a situation where I literally have to redo everything. So this one I'm just going to swallow my pride, and God, I don't even know. I haven't even looked at JavaScript in years, so I got to figure out how to even come at this again. Game controller, good. I do have a game controller script. I mean, this stuff literally at this point is, like I said, some of the stuff is 11 years old. So this is, talk about blowing off the cobwebs off the PS4, man. These are cobwebs, generations worth of cobwebs in here. All right. So Bob, wow, I'm even like referencing myself. No, oh no, that's main menu. Okay, I was about to say that's how bad I was when I first started doing this stuff. Okay, so there's Bob's script, so that's all good. Okay, good. Wow, so I don't even have to like throw a public. It just shows the variables out there? Holy crud. Okay, yeah, I've been in C# land for so long, I've completely forgotten all this stuff about UnityScript. Okay, I'm going to throw this down at the bottom. Maybe. There's awake. Okay, we found awake. So, call this object in a semicolon. Wow. Oh, this is funny. This is... Oh, I'm doing the wrong direction too, aren't I? Oh, this is gonna be a trip. Yeah. Oh, hey, I got IntelliSense working. It didn't used to work. It actually showed... so let's see if it does this, though. Actually, I'm curious. String. This is cool. Okay, because one of the reasons I actually made the shift from UnityScript to C#, and because this is Mono. Maybe Mono was the one that's misbehaving, and maybe Microsoft Visual Studio is going to behave. But I would have a situation where I type string, right, and Mono would come back and literally change the S to lowercase, right, and then error it out. Oh, it's the other way around. Where's the other way around? You inspire me. Back onto your next game already? No, this is an old game. This is like this is my 9-year-old game that I'm trying to update to accommodate. No more slacking for us. Oh, does that mean you're gonna leave and go work? Okay, so I don't even know if is string upper or lowercase. No, it is uppercase. Okay. So if I go string, does it change it? No, it just leaves it. Okay, but it used to do that. In Mono, it would take this, right, and change it to lowercase, and then error out, say, you did this wrong. No, it's like, you did it wrong. You're the one that screwed with it. You guys are like Apple. Sorry. All right. Now, you weren't slacking. You were game testing last night. All right? That was some good game testing. Paper fan facepalm. Nice. Okay. So, let me see if I can actually attach this. This is fun. This is a trip down memory lane. I need an emote, man. Yeah, I do. Actually, send me a link. I mean, I know I have rights to do it, but I don't even know how to add an emote to it, so I've not looked into that. I put my staff on it. Staff. Okay, I think they're out to lunch, but when my staff returns, I'll find out if they've had any progress, but, nice, Mr. Destructoid. Yeah, so, send me a link, and I'll have my staff take a look at all that stuff, and hopefully I can do a customized link. I guess I could go ask the all-knowing Google. I have less excuse now, because my excuse is, no, I gotta focus on Valley Village, right? I gotta get Valley Village done, right? So now I'm in the situation, it's kind of like, wait, what do I do, man? Oh, crud. This weird kind of like 0G. I don't even know which way to go now, man. You know? It's like Inigo Montoya. I've been in the revenge business so long, I don't know what to do with myself. Does that mean I turn into Dread Pirate Roberts now? Alright. Okay, so let's see how this looks. Scroll all the way to the bottom here. And maybe. I have to get back to work now. You always stream while I'm at work. I can only catch you on my fire drill. That's alright, man. Thanks for swinging by. I appreciate you saying hello. And yeah, no more slacking, man. Just get the game done. You know, I'm gonna swing by, check you guys' stream out pretty soon, and when I come back, I expect you guys to be pretty much like sitting it out the door, right? I mean, come on, you have multiple people. You have an advantage. Just playing, man. Alright, thanks for coming by. Good to see you again. Alright. So, it did. Look at that. It came up. Ultimate Mobile. I have so much, like, zombie code in here, man. I have just so much useless code that's completely untouched. But, still don't clear it out. Alright. So, that's my top buttons. And let's come down here to bottom button group. There it goes. Alright. So then, I guess what I could look for is just when we start messing with all this stuff. AI text 1. Really? I don't have that in the game controller at all. Alright. Cache. Okay. Players cache. Really? I called it players cache. Alright, I'm gonna go back in time and just like smack myself. Players cache. And that's the only instance of it? Oh, that's even better. Wow. This is just terrible. Okay. I guess I could just do it right from the start. Yeah, because even though it's turned off, I'm not affecting the code, I'm just affecting its physical position. So, in theory, I could do the offset even right here. Sorry, got a little popcorn kernel there. Have myself a little popcorn lunch. Man, that is so awesome being a grown-up, right? I had myself leftover pizza, and I was like, I'm still a little hungry. I got some popcorn left over. Alright, there you go. Pizza and popcorn for lunch. God, being adult just rules, man. I love that. What are you, like 12? Yeah, pretty much. I'm basically what Kevin from Home Alone dreamt of growing up to become. Alright, so let's do their math here. Let's go int. Oh, and see, I got no IntelliSense working now, do I? Screen width is equal to... Do I have... No, I got nothing. So, yeah, I don't even know... Yeah, I got nothing in terms of errors here. The only way I get, I think, is if I come back here, and then it doesn't like it. Wait, expected inserted semicolon. I have a semicolon right there. Oh, wait. It's backwards, isn't it? Oh, no, that's... Okay. Oh, I forgot. I go there. Yeah, I've literally been, what, at least 4 or 5 years since I've done anything in JavaScript, Unity script, whatever you want to call this stupid thing. So this is going to be painful. Let's see. Nope, still hates it. Really? Oh my god. Alright. Oh, that's how I do it. Okay. Wow. Yeah. And okay, this will come back to me eventually. So it's gonna like that part, but then it's gonna scream about something else. Unknown identifier screen. Really? Okay. Okay. Let's try this. In Unity script. Hey, Fluffy King is following. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for the follow, Fluffy King. Appreciate it. Hello. How's it going, by the way? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for the follow. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. All right. So, yeah. So, screen. Oh, is it because it's not capital? Or is it screen? Okay. So now it's gonna be happy. God, with no IntelliSense whatsoever, it just makes this a nightmare. Yeah, that was it. So this is like old school. This is the way it used to be programming in Unity, right? Where you don't know. You have to sit there and add a bunch of code and then flip it back over and just wait, right? It's like every time you write it, you have to like hand it to the teacher and just wait for her to process it. The little wheel turns and then you got to find out if you screwed up, and she throws the red marks, right? She has the red pin. She's writing, with red ink to tell you how much you screwed up. Then you got to go back and fix it. Oh man, I really do a mess of all the IntelliSense and just telling you right here. Okay. You know what? Why am I doing this? Just do it screen ratio. Make this a float. Screen width. Okay, so it's this way, so width divided by height. Oops. Okay. Screen ratio. I'm just so paranoid. I'm just gonna do it this way. Screen ratio. Just to make sure I can at least get this beginning part right. Alright. I'm gonna mute him again. Screen ratio is 0. Oh, because they're ints, right? Let me try this. Let me go cast these as floats. And it doesn't like that? Really? How about that? Are we happy now? The type float does not have a visible constructor that matches the argument list int. It's a list? How did that become a list? Alright, we'll try it this way. How about this? There. Yes? No? Maybe? Oh, come on! Unity script sucks, man! Fluffy King. Quite exhausted, but saw you are working in Unity and had to check it out. I'm now learning Unity and C#, doing a 3D platformer game, and I bet I can learn some stuff from you. If I can help, I'll do it, man. I'm doing this because I want to apply at Ubisoft. Oh, sweet. For an internship this summer. I'm only second year in college, and they require you to know some C# and C++. But since I already know C++, oh, you smarter than me then. I'll ask you questions. Tough learning C# and Unity would be more because I can interact with a game engine at the same time. Yeah, dude, totally makes sense. I've mentioned this before when people have asked, but definitely check out in the newer versions of Unity, in the main menu, there's a Learn tab, right? If you click on the Learn tab, there's a great chunk of demos in there to give you an idea, not only of just the game engine itself, but also the coding side. Excuse me. Your timing is kind of bad because what I'm doing now is I'm going back to what is an 8-year-old game that I released that was all written not in C# but in Unity script, which has been abandoned, right? So I'm having to use an older version of Unity just to make this work, and I haven't touched Unity script in literally like 4 years, so I can't remember any of this. So yeah, so unfortunately this is probably bad timing. And then I also point out that I am not a trained coder. I've never taken any kind of programming classes. So I come from it from the art side. I'm much more of the artist. I can do the programming okay. I've managed to put out 6 games, but I'm no expert. But yeah, if you have any questions, man, and if I know the answer, I am happy to help. The first answer is no, do not use UnityScript anymore. Because this sucks. This is annoying as hell. Okay, how about if I just do it that way? And it still hates it. Really? Alright, so let's figure out how to convert a float, an int to float in UnityScript. Int to float. It's been too long. I cannot find one. It's fine. I just enjoy seeing coding in Unity in any language. Cool. Okay. Let's see. And that's not. Let's see. MathF round. Really? Okay. So really? No, I thought round. No, but rounds. Okay, that's not it. Float. But that's what I did. My float equals float. Alright. So, let me just try this. Because that's saying float my int. And that's what I'm doing. But is that because it's a C# thing and not a Unity script? And if so, I'm totally screwed. And it still hates it. Oh, is it this? No, it's not it. It still hates it. God. Oh, God. Yeah, there's nothing more fun than trying to access programming knowledge from 5 years ago. Okay. There's gotta be somewhere where I do this, right? Let me see if I find another example in here somewhere. Hey! Yeah, but that's all C#. That's not gonna help. No, give me a... Not C#. Come on. C#. It's all C#. That's useless. So I literally did no conversions. Wow. I made the entire game without any kind of float. Okay, what if I just don't even declare it? What if I just go screen width? It's possible to invoke an expression of type int. Alright, now you just really piss me off. Can't do F, can I? Float? Nope. Still no likey. This is going to be such a simple thing, I thought. I really... Oh, wait, no, wait a second. Now, it still doesn't like it? Alright, screen width. Look at that, and I get no information, too. Because I am in UnityScript land, do I see any pop-ups here? Give me any information? No, none whatsoever. Okay, so it's fine with that. But if I try and convert it dynamically on the fly, it's okay with it, but that's still not going to give me screen height. Yeah, and that's just going to return 0, of course, right? Because that's what I had before. It's going to come up with a 0. Of course. So we need to parse this float. That's why you do that in C#, right? And that's why we should do this over here. And it just hates that. It does not have a visible constructor that matches the argument of list int. Really? So I'm getting killed here because, I mean, when I look for these values, right, or tutorials on how to properly do this, all this information is in C# land. So let me do it this way. JavaScript. There it is. Int to float. Oh, as float. Oh. So like this? Or is that guy full of crap? Nope, he's full of crap. So the operator as can be used with reference types. Really? Oh, wait. Okay. Sorry. Before I start casting aspersions on this poor guy. Let's try it that way. Yeah, and? Still hates it. Alright, now I'm going to cast aspersions. You're wrong, dude. You're a doofus. Get out of my life. No. God. Yep. It'd be like this. No, okay, no, wait a second. It's saying, okay, so it's saying just assign it, but that ain't right. Is to do this. Float. Okay. Okay, so then so I have to do it this way then. So if I go... So my shortcut is what bit me. I gotta do screen width is equal to screen width as float. Or no, even that is useless, right? Can I get at least get away with the 1? Or are you gonna complain about that too? Okay. Okay. So it is a matter of just, I cannot, what I try to do is consolidate both of those into the same line, and that is where I went wrong. Height. Alright, and then aspect is equal to screen width divided by screen height. Done. So I think it's just that shortcut that I was trying to do, combine both of those in one line, which in C# land you have no problem with, but here it's just blowing up on me. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it looks like Uniscript doesn't like casting. So Uniscript is practically JavaScript. Yeah, it is. It's JavaScript tweaked, and it has been completely abandoned. I mean, literally in 2017, I think version 3, and then 2018 for Unity, it will just error out. So good. So I did that, but I did that the wrong direction. So let me reverse this, and then I'll finally get my number. But yeah, and I mean, because this game is so many years old, when I first started using Unity, and I was just putting a toe in the water in terms of doing any coding, Uniscript was a lot more forgiving than C# was. But over the years, just through osmosis, I've learned enough about C# that I made the jump, you know, literally 5 years ago, I think. Yeah, there it is, 177. That's what we wanted. Okay, so let's do it this way too. I'm gonna be slick about this. Is it what, F2? Is that how you get the two decimal place? Is that right? No, that isn't. Crud, I forgot. I used this ages ago. Convert float to decimal place to 2 decimal place. I'm gonna kick myself because I've used this before, I just don't remember. Answers Unity is just dead. Alright, let's go to this one. Yeah, that's useless. I know there's a command for that. Come on. No. Seriously? There's a command. I used it before. I just don't remember it offhand. How about round? Round float to 2 decimal place. No. No, 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 no. It's like, there's a... Come on. There's a command. Forget about it. I'll just leave it be. So, then what we want to do is find out. So we say variable. Base. Base screen value float is going to be equal to. Fine, I'll just go nuts, just like it did. There. There, jerk. Okay. And then we'll say screen ratio. Really? There it goes. So we say screen aspect minus base screen value. We'll say math F. Really? I get no, look at that, I get no IntelliSense whatsoever. I got nothing working there. Or is it all, I thought it was, what? I thought the F was uppercase. Okay. Clamp. 0, and then we'll just say 50. It'll never get anywhere near that, but just so I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, you jerk. I knew that was wrong, but it just will not correct it, will it? It's math F, right? Oh, is it capital? Okay, it's capital M. So I get so spoiled. I don't know about you guys, but I get so spoiled with just knowing that I can just start typing and it'll fix it for me, right? That I don't even have to think about it. Do you want to use the value with only 2 decimals or just print it with 2 decimals? No, I was just going to try and round it, but it's not even worth the effort at that point. Alright, so... Alright. Set value float is equal to this guy. I was just trying to be fancy. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it was overkill on my part, which I shouldn't have done anyways. Alright, so take this guy. Like that. I just thought it'd be nice just to round it off cleanly to a 2-digit space. And I know there's a command for it, I just don't remember it offhand. It's like .h2 or something like that. But like I said, overkill. Alright. Interesting. Gave me like huh, okay. Alright, now I'm totally confused. Let me just go down the line here and look at all these stupid values. Oops. Yeah, screen aspect. Oh, because it's actually one. Okay, that's right. That's actually correct. I'm an idiot. I'm basically subtracting 177 from 177. So let me actually kick it into something that would throw it a true value. That was stupid. Alright, this one I should get like 0.23 or something close. 0.22. That's fine. And that's the offset we need right there. And that will give us the 50 that we're looking for. So, so let's see. Let's say it's offset of int value is equal to 50 times 0.22. What did I say that was? Like 222? Yeah, fine. Excuse me. Let's see. No. Yeah, that is correct. Okay. Find a point 222. Yeah, and then of course, yeah, F if I was doing C#, but you can drop off the F when you're Uniscript, which got me into some terrible habits. When I switched over to C#, for the longest time, I kept getting errors about not putting Fs after numbers like that. But Uniscript, it's like, yeah, don't worry about it. I know, you're a newbie. You don't know what you're doing. I'll let it slide. So let's try this. Offset. And then I'll probably have to add a clamp on this just to make sure it doesn't go less than 0. So let's see. 0, 1000, which I'll never hit, but I'll have that just in case. So look at that. I don't even get like the parentheses, right, where it indicates the match. I don't even get any of that when you're in Uniscript, man. They just, poor Uniscript. That is a redheaded stepchild. It gets no love at all. It's like if you're dumb enough to use that, then you get what you get. We're not going to tell you anything. And no errors. Good. So we should get a value that's close to 50 here. There it is. Button offset is 50. Sweet. Oh, sorry. If you wanted just to see in the console round to decimal place, then string format 0.2 value. Oh, cool. So, but I'm in bed on my phone. That's cool. That's cool. Thank you. Yeah, and like I said, it was just total overkill on my part. You know, that was just a waste of time. That was like obsessive compulsive part of me that was trying to worry about that when I didn't have to. So now, in theory, we can just go ahead and take top buttons, really, I get no transform. Look at that. I try and transform and then hit tab and I got nothing. I literally have true. That's the only thing I have. Transform, local. I got nothing. Look at that. Man, after years of IntelliSense, you get so spoiled by that. You know, you're hitting tab all the time. Okay, transform position, and it should be 0. Button offset. Oh, that's terrible. Let me do it like that. Offset. And then 0. Okay. Oops. On the outside. And then bottom buttons. Transform. And that would be negative value for him. So that should be all we need for it to actually do the offset correctly. Oops. Except for the fact that it hates this. Oh. My fault. Uniscript is not that forgiving. Although actually new, I don't think I have to use new in Uniscript. I don't even know if you can. Let's see what it does. No, it still hates it. Oh. Is equal to. I'm doing parentheses. Swear, man, IntelliSense is such a crutch. Excuse me. There it is. All right. So the objective here is hopefully this guy is going to snap up to the top. with that little offset. Just like that. Sweet. So that might be all I need to do to fix this. So it'll never go below 0, so it won't take the buttons ever move them downward, no matter how, if the screen gets insanely fat this way, it's never going to make the buttons move downward. It'll only go up. And if they start inventing screens that are like 3-to-1, then I guess the buttons will go all the way up there. But if you have a 3-to-1 screen, then you're not playing games anymore. That's just annoying. I don't know. Maybe they have like foldable screens. You can like unfold them, and they're like a 5-to-1 ratio. How would you make a game for that anyways? All right. I'm going to shut up because that's done. Mark out these guys just for the moment. Just make sure that we're all cool here. But what I'm going to do is... let's take Mr. Gameplay here. Turn him back off. Turn on Mr. Main Menu. All right. And let's start with the old 16:9. Since we know that works. Make sure I didn't break anything there. Okay. Number 5. I'll just play through one hand. Should I keep the ace? I'll keep the ace. Ah, garbage. He's got nothing, so I'm going to try and bluff him. See if he folds or if he stays in. Oh, he calls. Idiot. You better not have better than a pair of 2s. I'm going to be pissed. Oh, no. What do you had? A pair of 10s. He was checking on a pair of 10s. You jerk. All right, so that looks good. All those animations, just how. That's me. So so that's the one thing I am confident of. I've been an animator for 20 years. So the animation is me. I animated all that stuff. There's 7.5 minutes worth of character animation. So I've been doing animation for forever. Still do it. I still do animation to subsidize. Oh, which I can, any of you guys that are out there, any of my usual guys, is public. So I can actually talk about it. If you're hanging with me all this time, there was a time, remember, when I was having to do like those funky late night broadcasts because I was doing some freelance animation work on a TV show, which I couldn't talk about because it wasn't officially announced. Well, they announced it. So I can finally talk about it. It is Netflix Santa Clarita Diet, which comes out March 29th. I was doing a bunch of animation for that TV show. So once it comes out, I'll talk about specifically what I worked on that one. But that's the most recent one. So it's the TV shows that subsidize my cruddy game development. So when the games don't make a lot of money, I still have the animation to fall back on. But, it also wreaks havoc with my schedule, which is why it takes me years. Bali Village took me 3 years to finish just because I kept doing animation. So, but yeah, that's it. That's they're all just originally, because Bob is so many years ago, that's when I had access to Maya. So Bob was originally animated in Maya. I use Maya LT now. Kind of the same thing, just with no rendering ability. But that's me. That's just me animating. Alright, so let's bump him to this, and fingers crossed. So if that works, then I'll do the same thing for these guys up here. Alright. Good. So that looks good. Boom. Yes! Yes! So this is going to be a relatively simple fix. Because this, and okay, so... Ow. Huh. I guess I could take the buttons and make them attached to this down here as well. Because I don't like that gap. That's not right. Alright, what do I got? I got garbage. But I'll go 5 just to get the ball rolling. I'll turn the audio back on if you want to hear Bob talk.
What you need?
Hang on to those guys. I'm just happy when I see that when my cube collides with obstacles, the obstacles move. Those are my animations. Fair enough. Well, I get excited too, but just because that means that my code actually kind of worked. So, we both come to the same result, but for different reasons.
Exactly. I'll do the same. And behind door number 1, you've got nothing but a high. But I've got a better high. And the cash is mine.
Jerk. Alright, so that's great. So it all snapped to the right place. You can see, so the problem before was that on the 2x1 phones, Look at that aspect ratio, by the way. I mean, that's just insane. I mean, I got like the classic, you know, I got the old 16 by 9 kind of thing, but that is just an insane. So obviously, my phone, my GUI was adapting to 16 by 9, so the cards on either side were getting completely clipped. But that fixes it. So I need to do the same thing for. Oh shoot! I didn't mean to start another hand. I can just. And I made the game so you can drop out of a hand and come right back and pick up where you left off with no problem. So I need to do the same thing with here. So I'm going to do a set of top buttons. But let me come back before I jump over to the main menu. Let me come back to the gameplay. And I'm going to add those buttons. Play button group? No? Let's see. That's main menu. Go away. Take cash. Let's see, where does he pop up? He pops up. Okay, that's fine. Let's see, one question. After you export a project from Unity, let's say a game, if you take that game to another computer, it can be played without Unity installed. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if like right now, my current mode is PC, Mac, and Linux, right? So if we go to the build settings, if you have it, these are all your choices for destination platforms. Right now, I have it on PC and Mac. So you can build a PC executable, right? And once that's done, then you have just an exe in a folder. For example, here you go. Documents, Valley Village, builds, PC. So here's the PC version of the game that I just submitted to Apple. I'll do is 1287.20, so it's not too insanely big. There you go. So there you go. This is a standalone executable. So you can do that one by default. Oh, you know what? I gotta purge the values on this. I did some tweaking on that, so it kind of broke. So this is a bad example. Crud. Let's see if I have one for Put with Bob. No, I don't. Okay, let's make one. I'll just make one right now. Put with Bob. Go new folder. Builds. Poker with Bob. Alright. Now, the only question mark, though, is because I have this vertical, and I don't know if PC is going to let me do a vertical aspect, so it may get funky. I don't think it's going to give me an actual choice to do, like, a vertical version. Yeah, unfortunately, I have limited choices, so it's going to look wrong. I'll just do 1287.20. But you get a sense of if I did this in a horizontal fashion, right? It would actually be okay. Oh, look at that, it froze. That's interesting. Don't know why I did that. Anyways, so yeah, two bad examples, but you should. So it's simply that easy to make an exe for the game. Yeah. I just fell more in love in Unity. I think, in fairness, I think Unreal is the same way. I don't think either of them have any issues with kicking out EXEs. I, of course, am much more partial to Unity just because I've been using it for, what I say, like over a decade now. But, yeah, both of them are the same way. And the great thing about it, too, is once you're ready, you know, you just go build settings, and when you're ready to go to Android, you just hit that, hit switch platform, boom, and you're in Android land. You do have to make changes. You do have to accommodate certain aspects of it, of course, but it's nice because you can even set up in your code in Unity that is platform-specific code, right? So rather than having to make, you know, back in the day, you know, back in the early days, 6 years ago or more, you had to make different versions of your game. But then they started introducing this platform-specific code, and then what'll happen is the code will gray out when it's on a different platform. So like if you're doing an Android game and you have iOS code and it says pound if Unity underscore iOS, and then all that code would gray out. But then when you switch to iOS mode, that code would suddenly come to life, and then all the Android specific code will get grayed out. So that way you can set specific code that works on a platform and goes away on the other one, so it doesn't cause any errors, which is awesome. Does Android support C#? Well, Unity supports C#, right? So all the platforms, if you do anything in Unity, you used to have like 3 or 4 different choices. Originally there was Mono, Boo, Unity Script, and C#, but now we're pretty much down to C#. And then what happens is that Unity does all the heavy lifting. Unity compiles it in the background to accommodate whatever platform it's going to. So, I mean, in terms of front-facing, you only ever have to deal with C#. That is your only choice, you know. And then, like, Unreal is C++, you know. And Blueprint, although we can get in a discussion about whether or not Blueprint can allow you to actually make a fully robust game. You know, differing minds on that one. I think at some point you're going to have to introduce code to it, you know. So, Unreal side, C++, and Unity, C#. So, yeah. In that sense, yeah, it does. So, okay. I was going to add those buttons, right? So let's do that. Let me come back here. Figure out. There you go. Down here. So bottom button group. Winning, losing menu, quit match, in-game menu. I can leave that as is. Thinking group. Betting buttons. Ooh, okay. Yeah. I guess I could just let it parent down. The buttons will kind of run low on some of the longer devices, but I think that's a fine concession. So, I'm going to leave off thinking. The thinking group is when I had a multiplayer feature built into it, which I disabled because it was running off Bluetooth, which was terrible. I'll revisit sometime in the future. Below the Stone, welcome, buddy. Valley Village changed a whole lot while I was gone. Yeah. So instead of throwing cannonballs, you actually throw cards. No, I ran out of stuff to drag my feet on. I had no choice but to submit it. So I did, man. I threw it out there. It's well, you can see up there, right? Oh, crud. Wait. Never mind, don't read this. Hold on, let me fix it. Wait. I forgot to update this, didn't I? I'm clicking the wrong stuff here. 15 days. It's now 15 days. Done. Actually 14, isn't it? Was it accepted? Oh, let's see. Was it accepted? Funny you should ask. No. It was releasing on the 15th of March. Yeah. I did. I submitted it to them, right? But so the nice thing is that you can submit it to them and you do it beforehand to make sure it gets approved, right? And then you just set a post-release date, right? So, and then what I've done with Apple is I told them, and this is a new feature, I don't know about this. You can set it to pre-order, right? So once Apple approves it, the screen will change to a pre-order page, which, or excuse me, I don't know, how do you I don't know, it's pre-order, but it's a free game. Yeah, go figure. But that'll give people an opportunity to like request the game up to 2 weeks before it gets released, right? And then once it comes out, then it's fine. But it's nice because I can set up a distant release date, so that gives me a little more time to get the word out on the game and also to deal with this kind of issue. Check this out. So Apple rejected it, and this happened literally like 10 minutes before I went on to my stream here, right? But so they rejected it, and what's funny is the reason they did. Check this out. So they rejected it because they didn't like my localization. They don't say why, right? There's no indication saying that I have bad words in here, but they put this little dot, this red dot, to say no. What? No what? Just no. So they rejected my entire app for an unknown reason. They just said that my in-app purchase was rejected. And I went online, I searched around, it's kind of like, you know, what did I do wrong? And I'm not the only person. I looked on Google, the all-knowing Google, and lots of people had this, right? And their solution is you create another localization, right? And then delete this one, and then bring it back, and then put the information in there, and get rid of the temp other localization, and then hit save, and then it goes, oh, okay, fine. and it gets reviewed. So they rejected my in-app purchase information, and I have no idea why. I mean, maybe the person that was doing it just doesn't like US. I don't know. There's no indicator of why they rejected it, but they just, the whole way down, all these things got rejected. Right? And I have no information as to why. So everything else I think is fine, but I just got to go back and deal with that. But I mean, I found that I got the email literally 10 minutes before I was going online, so I haven't had a chance to deal with it. But the nice thing is that I can make the adjustment and then submit it. I don't have to put a new build. I could just say I've corrected it and take a look. So that'd be nice. So what I've done now is I've come back to my first game, which I didn't realize was breaking. Doesn't want you to succeed. Tim Cook has it out for me. Yeah, I beat him 4 out of 5 in arm wrestling matches, and he's just never going to let me live it down. So he's had a vendetta against me ever since, you know. And by the way, the 4 out of 5, I actually let him win the last one just because I was feeling sorry for him. I mean, I would have skunked him 5 out of 5, but, you know, he's a billionaire. I'm not. I didn't want to show him up. I'm assuming he's a billionaire. Is he? Maybe he might be just a millionaire. Oh, if that's the case, man, I should have beat him 5 out of 5. No mercy, man. So, anyways, I went back to Poke with Bob, which was my very first game. And what I discovered, thanks to some emails from some users, was the fact that on a 2x1 screen, the cards were physically going off the edges of the screen, and people couldn't see it. So I'm trying to make adjustments to that real quick. And this is funny. So I'm suffering profusely because this game is so old. It was written in Unity script and JavaScript. Check your purchases with Poker with Bob. Uh-oh. What does that mean? Does it mean it's not purchasable, or does that mean you just pulled the trigger on buying one? If you did, thank you, man. Thank you so much if you did. I appreciate it. And if you have a 2x1 phone, know that I'm updating it right now, so it'll accommodate it. If you have a crappy phone like me, you know, the old 16x9, awesome. Fluffy King, thank you, man. Thank you for the purchase. I appreciate that. I hope you enjoy the game. Bob's, he's got a bit of an attitude. It's kind of fun. Like I said, there's literally 7.5 minutes worth of animation. So, you know, depending on the type of hand you have, he has all kinds of different responses. So it keeps it kind of, S9, okay. Cool. Awesome. Well, that's still, S9 is exponentially better than my Nexus 6. I mean, not a 6P, mind you. I'm talking Nexus 6, you know. But, yeah, I like my old phone. And I gotta find, if my next phone has to be able to get a case like this, you know, for the back of the phone. I gotta get another one of these, so, you know, that's the deciding factor. That literally is a deciding factor for me. I could look at a new phone, even if I like the price. If I find that I can't get my little Game Boy cover for the back of it, I might actually not get that phone. That's kind of nutty, but true. All right. So all those guys are now in place. So let's take another stab at this. Bring main menu back up again. Hit save. And I still need to fix the main menu. I'll address that here in a second. But the key thing here is... Actually, let me check my audio. Project settings, audio, best, yeah, best latency. Okay, it looked like the audio is a little out of sync, which can happen on the Android with Unity. Look at that. All right, so all the cards are visible and they're at the edge of the screen, and the buttons. Look at that, and the buttons are exactly where they should be. Crud, he just bet 100 on me, didn't he? 6, and I got nothing. I don't have an inside straight. I have nothing. So this is where I fold. Let's see what Bob says. Wuss. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. Now I can go for an inside straight on this one. Can shoot for the 7. I'll go 5. Don't raise me. Good. All right. Here we go. Somebody emailed me and he says, does Bob always go for an inside straight? I went, pretty much, yeah, because I do. I always go for inside straights. And there it is. Oh, so close. That 8 had been a 7. I would have nailed it. A pair of 8s. I'll go 5.
You went with 5.
It's a little generous, but
I'll call.
here we go.
Some roll cheese. You get a pair, but
Oh,
I've
you
got a
jerk!
better
Another pair of
than
10s. You
I
beat me again.
get to five.
But, okay. So I'm getting distracted again. But here's the key thing. The buttons are all in the right spot, right? So on a 21:9 screen, you can see the buttons are where they should be. They're on the edges of the screen. That's all good. So let me just do the same thing for the main menu, and we will consider this done. Crud, then what am I going to do? I mean, I can start contemplating the prototype, but I don't know if you guys want to sit here and just watch me scratch my head as I think about the new prototype game. I don't know how that'll work, but let's get this done first. Let's do the first part. So let's come back here, go awake. There. So these guys, we'll add this. Say main menu, top buttons, main menu, bottom buttons. Good. Alright, so let's switch back to our 16:9 that we know works. Like that. Alright. And this is multiplayer group. Nope. Main menu group. There it is. So where are all these guys? Our earnings. Is it just these two? Okay, yeah, I guess that's all I care about is those two. Create invisible widget, child, and we'll call this top buttons. And I'm going to duplicate it since it's at the 0 point anyways, and call this bottom buttons. Buttons, good. And then we need to decide what all goes in that one. Really? You're not going to let me select? Jerk. There it goes. Okay, so there's the... So put him underneath there. Ah! Widget. I'm going to switch... Okay, there. Put this widget down there. Now I can select it, right? Yes, good. Options button. That's under bottom buttons. Alright, so that's that one. And this is going to go under top buttons, and that should be all we need. Alright, so where do we put that? Right here. So main menu top, main menu bottom, and that should be it. Alright, so we'll start off with this one that we know should... Oh, wait. We broke something. Oh, really? How did I, like, highlight part of it? How is that even possible? Alright, you happy now? Yeah, now he's happy. Alright. Let's just go back to our game controller, scroll down to the bottom. Add those guys, and then we're good to go. You won. Your damage 27%. Their damage 77%. A big time spanking. Nice. That's a good start, man. Wait. When did Poker with Bob have damage? Oh, wait. You're playing both games. Well, thanks for that. Okay. What do I want? Top buttons. Game controller. Should have clicked on that. I was right where I needed to be. Bob got a big time spanking. He will do that too. Depending on the extremity of the hand, right? I mean, like if you have, if he goes, I've got, like if you have 4 of a kind, right? And he's like, oh, and I've got a full house, right? And he just, the bigger the hand and the bigger the pot, the bigger his reaction. Valley Village Bob. There you go. But I don't know, do you think Bob would look good in like the dwarf helmet? Throws Bob that have to throw cards in the air. There you go. Actually, a friend of mine had that idea for a game. Okay. Let's see. So main menu, top buttons, top, bottom buttons, done. Control S. Good. He would be an orc. You can see Bob with just a little bit of the overgrown teeth. Yeah, you can see like the teeth just right there. All right.
Fire it up.
More garbage cards. Come on, Bob. You're screwing me here.
Start with 5.
I'll call.
Called. I'll take 3.
Even though he hand me garbage.
How many do you need?
The two little tusks helmet goes over his eyes. There you go. Yeah, you notice that in Bali Village. There's no eyes. Oops. I'll keep the 9. And I'll dump 8.
You drew 3. I'll start with 25.
Oh, crud. I'll call. No, I'm going to fold. Because I got a pair of 10s. And I always got me beat. If he's betting 25, although he could be bluffing. Do you think he's bluffing? Nah, I'm going to play it simple.
And you're out.
And you're out. All right. So a little subtle touch here that I don't think anyone's ever noticed. But I'll show you when I get to the card discard moment here.
You open.
I'll go 5.
Open with 5.
Does he know how to bluff? Yeah.
I'll raise
Yes.
you 100.
He bluffs occasionally. Oh, crud. Like that, $100? He might be bluffing right now, but I'm not going to chance it.
And you're out.
And you're out. He said that again. But he will. Sometimes he'll do things sometimes where if he has 3 of a kind, he'll bet high and then draw 1 card to make it look like he has 4 of a kind. Right? Look at this. He's doing it again. What have I got here? 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, an outside straight. Okay, I'm going to call him and shoot for the outside straight.
You're in. I'll take 3.
He takes 3.
What you need.
So he bet 25. So that shows he was trying to bluff me out right there, because I mean betting 25 even on a pair of aces is pretty high, but that probably means he has an ace. Come on, I need a 3 or an 8. Come on.
You drew 1.
Yeah. Oh, it's go time.
I'll open with 100.
Oh, it's on, buddy.
Ah, 100 more, eh? I'll bump it 100.
Oh, all in.
Down to the belt. I'll call.
Here we go.
So, who's
See how sweaty he is?
You've got a straight. Oh, and I've got 2 pairs. It's all yours.
There you go. So that's a bigger reaction, you know, where he just, you know, it does the face palm, right? Does the big groan. So, like I said, depending on, you know, how big the pot is. And see, now he's starting to sweat too. You see how he's shinier? See in the face? Because he's down to $250. You see he's getting a little shinier on the face there. And then every now and then you'll see him actually wipe the sweat. All right. So, in that case, he wasn't bluffing. He was actually, yeah, he had 2 pair. That was pretty good. But he drew that, didn't he? Because so I was right. He did have a pair of aces. That's why he bet the 25. He'll do that sometimes on a pair of aces. And he drew the 2 10s and the 5. That was a fantastic draw on his part. He got spanked. Yeah. All right. So let me drop this back. So let me go back to my 2x1. All right. And let's see if this adjusts correctly. Come on, fingers crossed. Oh, okay, so it didn't fix that. Do I have that? Oh, he is constrained. Crap. Okay, so I need to unconstrain him. None. How about you? Down here. You constrained as well? No, he's not. Just that one. So hopefully that fixes it. Nope, still didn't fix it. What's up with that, guys? Huh. Unless I got that drop-down values hard-coded. Because, like, the text is working, but the blue is not. That's interesting. Alright, so just out of curiosity, I'd say 383. So what happens if I kind of force him up here? It's probably still going to snap. No, it still snaps. Okay, so I'm not going to get away from that one. I'm going to have to... That's the code. That's hard-coded. So I'm going to have to address that. Finding to play your own game and pretty much know everything, what cards he might have, because you know how it is programmed. He still skunks me sometimes. He still can outguess me sometimes, and I love those moments, right? Because that's when it really feels pretty human. He plays a okay game. He kind of plays in your favor, but I wanted that. I wanted it to be much more of a casual game, you know, than to be a hardcore game. So he definitely stays in pots that he has no business staying in, right? I mean, any normal player would definitely be folding the crap out of it. All right.
Toss it in.
All right. So we're almost there. Oh, baby. So I could go 100, but that might chase him away. So I'm going to start with 50.
Started with 50. I'll match that.
Ah, he just matched it.
What you need?
I'm going to take my 2.
You do 2. I'll take 1.
Uh-oh. He could be bluffing or could be going for something. Now, here's the question. Did he get it? So I'm going to go big. Should have made difficulties.
You opened with 100.
He kind of does.
Let's finish it.
Oh, crap. He got it. Whatever he's shooting for, he got it. Or unless he's bluffing. All right. I'll call it, but I think I've lost this. I think he got a flush or a straight.
Matched it.
Oh, crap. I'm going to lose.
You've got 3 of a kind.
Ah, I knew it.
And I take the pot.
Jerk. Oh, I knew I was going to lose that one. See, look at that. Now the shine's gone. See that? He's not sweating anymore because now he's back over, you know, the midpoint, which is 500. So now he's not sweating anymore. Jerk.
Need the kitty.
All right. Give me a good hand this time. Pair of 9s.
I'll open with 5.
Yeah, I can call that.
And you're in.
Bob just owned me, man. He just treated me like a rented mule. Didn't even buy me dinner. Oh!
Check.
No.
Ah,
Come on.
100 more, eh? I'll call.
Yes, I got him.
You got anything? You've got 2 pair. And I've got a pair.
So there's an example,
Take the
right?
cash.
Unless he thinks I'm bluffing, which I don't think he should at that point. You absolutely should not call that hand. All right, $100 when you have a pair of kings. There's no way you're gonna beat that. So that's a perfect example of him staying in when he shouldn't have. But that's what I wanted. I wanted the game to be much more casual. You know, to bring in the more casual gamer. I mean, if you want a solid high-end game of poker, there's other ones out there.
Let's do it. Start us off.
That's crap. I'll start with 5.
Five.
Don't raise me. Don't raise me.
I'm in.
Good.
How many do you need?
I need 3. I need a king and 2 queens.
I'll take 3.
You gave me crap, Bob.
Start us off.
I'm gonna check.
You
Don't
check.
raise.
And I'll check too.
Good.
All right. You got anything? You've got nothing, but a high
card.
I've got a lower high card.
Boom.
It's all yours.
Still got him. Yeah, a whopping $20. Okay, I'm gonna stop playing. Sorry. That's a good sign though. I mean, even after all these years, I still enjoyed doing a couple of rounds with Bob. So I need to figure out. I obviously hard coded this, so I need to offset that value. But tell you what, I'm gonna do a quick restroom break and be right back. Hang tight, guys. We got the troll. There you go. A little bit. Wait, sorry, I gotta fill up the glass again. Hold on. I'll go to sleep. Hope I can catch more streams in the future. I really like your work and interaction. Thanks, man. Keep up the good work, and I hope the new game will be a success. Fluffy King, thank you so much, man. I'll be back on Monday, same time, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I hope you can come back around, man. But yeah, have a good night's sleep, and have yourself a fantastic weekend. I plan on it. I'm gonna game, man. I'm gonna play games this weekend. For the first time in, 5 months, I'm gonna shut down and do some gaming. So, Uncharted 2, man. That is on my list. That is what I'm gonna be doing, I think. And I'll stream it. What the heck? I will stream it. Okay. Let's see. Let me take this out of full screen. So I'm gonna cheat. Alright, so, wait, 343? Really? That's where it's coming down to, huh? Alright, so let's figure out what 343 is. That sounds fun to stream. Whoa! Alright, that's not gonna work. Yeah, so I finished Uncharted 1 about a year ago. So, no, actually it's probably been like 2 years ago. And, yeah, I mean, because I got my PS4. I have the older model, right? I got it when it was like, you know, when they were phasing them out, and they were like stupid cheap. It was $200. You know, it's $250 on Amazon. It's $250, and I got like 3 free games, and like an extra controller, and like a $50 credit on Amazon. It was like, okay, that's a no-brainer. And then so it came with Uncharted 4, which was new at the time. So that tells you how long ago it was that I got it. And then I went over to my local computer store, Fry's, and they had the original trilogy for like $19. So I busted that out, and I managed to get through the first episode of Uncharted, and then I just went back to work like crazy and have not played it since. That was my weekend indulgence. My birthday weekend indulgence was to play Uncharted 1. You know, as I think I mentioned before, you know, traditionally I give myself my birthday weekend just to play video games, but Valley Village is done, so I'm going to celebrate with some gameplay this weekend for a change. Alright, so this is the troublemaker right here. So, what I need... Tell you what, let's make that one value public, shall we? Let's go. The way we'll deal with this is start down here. Let's see. Oh, that's main menu. Oh, crud. Alright, so let's just toss all this stuff in the main menu. What do you say? Then I have to reconnect it. He should be able to access this stuff, right? So, we'll do it this way. Button offset is now going to become a public variable. And of course that is a float, which is lowercase, of course. Alright. So let's make sure it doesn't hate that first. Okay. I thought I had it there. Okay, fine. I'll make it public. Oh, stop. You saw that, right? That's not me. My keyboard is possessed by evil spirits. it just takes off of me sometimes. It just doesn't... Oh, come on! Seriously? Does anyone think that I was able to hit the I key that many times that fast? I don't think so. Alright, how about now? You happy now? Oh, because it's an... Okay, that's GC. So, A Ouija board. No, but I thought I purged all the evil spirits I summoned last weekend to try and help me finish the game, but I guess I didn't quite get all of them out of here. No, I'm using an old keyboard switcher that I've had for about 15 years. I mean, the switcher's so old that it supports mouse, keyboard, and VGA. So that gives you an idea how old my keyboard switcher is. And I think it's a little messed up. I do it at least every other day. How do you think I get these games done, man? You don't think I actually do these games by myself, do you? No. No, I completely summons evil spirits to help me get this working. Alright, so then why button offset? That's bizarre. So it's... Oh, because I'm declaring it again, aren't I? Let me fix that. That's why he was getting pissy. There. So now he's good. And now I should be able to access him from the main menu. Yes. Good. Button offset. That is the only place. Yeah, so let's see, 3. Oh shoot, I don't know if button offset is gonna be... Oh yeah. There. That should do it. Let's see. Huh? Well, kind of. Earnings backdrop. Plus button offset. And push them up higher. Oh, sorry. Yep, that was me. Alright, let's see if that pushes him up out of the way and then he drops in correctly. Kind of. Alright. Let's go for 10. Ah, there it is. There's our culprit. Okay. Center start. So I'm going to take these guys and put them under awake just to make sure they kick off first. Oh, they are under awake. Good. Never mind. So awake should come before start, so this should be good. Plus GC button offset. So we got him. 410. Yeah. All right, 343. Let's try 340. All right, let's go, buddy. Treat me kind. Not bad. Yeah, 320. That's probably gonna be too much. Yep. All right, let's shoot the difference there. All right, and then I gotta check to see how that's gonna work when I'm back into my 16:9 aspect ratio. But if it behaves, then we're good. Okay. Whoa. That's just totally messed up. Really? 50. Okay, so... Three top buttons. Move to is local true. Okay. Three, and that's in the wrong spot. That's weird because it is showing as doing as a local move, so in theory that should be. Alright, let's just figure out what the end values for these guys are. Come at it that way. 380. Which is looking good there. And that's totally wrong. 330. Whoa! Interesting. So 380. Oh! Idiot. It's just 380. Period. The button offset is actually addressing all that anyways. I needed to get him pushed out to begin with, but 380 will always be his final destination anyways, because we've offset the group. Idiot. Should have thought that one through better. Alright, so he still needs to go up higher. So let's just do it this way, go 400. I'm a stable genius. I think that is the most backhanded compliment I've ever gotten. A stable genius. Wait, does that mean like the smartest guy you find in the horse stables? Is that I'm reading that right? Yeah, I'm genius like Wile E. Coyote is genius with his little genius card. Oh, it's still doing it. That's 16 by 9. So transform local. Alright, let's just go nuts on this bad boy. Let's go 500. That should be totally out of the way. Yes. There it goes. We all know we wanted the Wile E. Coyote to win, so he was a genius in our hearts. Amen. That was my favorite, man. I don't want to get on a rant here, but I mean Chuck Jones, man. I love Chuck Jones with a passion so much. He was always my favorite, man. You know, and the Coyote Roadrunners are fantastic. But my favorite, you know, because I mean, they were always pretty much lather, rinse, repeat. I mean, how the Coyote was going to fail was always the question mark, but you always knew it was going to happen. It's pretty much always the, you know, the setup, the playoff, and, you know, the payoff, right? You know, and the final gag. But there's one, I love it, where he had the Acme rockets, right? With the little fuse, and they had the little wings, and he launched them, and they all kind of took off and just started going off everywhere and haunt him for the rest of the episode, right? I love the fact, because I mean that was the first and only time that Wile E. Coyote had a comedy callback, right? You know, that those little rockets would always just drop in right at the right moment and just, you know, for the rest of that episode just wreak havoc on them. And I love that, man. That was my favorite. That's just so good. All right, so as far as I know, let me check other menus, see if anything else goes nutty. No? Okay, that's 16 by 9. So let me see if I can break it in my 21 by 9. 2 by 1 rather. Love that growing up. You and me both, man. I grew up on that stuff for sure. All right, so I'm going to give a rundown of... There we go. So this is all 2 by 1 stuff. Let me see. No, that looks fine. Credits. There you go. Look at that. I actually put myself at the bottom. Why not? Right? So Daniel Thomas is the amazingly talented artist that I keep referencing all the time. I got him to work on my very first game. Back in the early days, he was affordable back then too, I gotta admit. And then Ed Mace is the voice talent of Bob. Absolutely does a fantastic job, man. He brings Bob to life for sure. And then so you have and all the other stuff. So good. That looks fine. I have a how to play tutorial. Oh crap. There's another one. I forgot about that, the tutorial. I gotta fix that too. Alright, so I need a top and bottom for tutorial. Good. So I'm glad I did test this because that would suck. Alright, so where's my tutorial stuff? Gameplay. Tutorial GUI. Yep, alright. I'll just do the same thing I was doing the other ones. Excuse me. So now that I have this system that works, it shouldn't take that long. Create visible widget. Where'd he go? Yeah. Top button. Oh. Top buttons. All right. So, any of you guys got Netflix out there? You guys Netflix? I'm a big Netflix watcher, right? I'll keep working late at night sometimes and just kind of throw that off on one of my side screens and keep watching, but so I delved into the realm of The Kingdom last night. Yeah, Binger here. Have you heard about Kingdom? They're splashing the crap out of it on the main page, and I was telling my wife about it as I was going to bed. It was just so funny because it's like I'm telling her it's like takes place in I think it's Korea, right? You know, a billion years ago, right? Just early ages. So you have like the dudes running around with swords, and you have a king that's ill, and the crown prince that's worried that he's going to get taken out by the young wife that has the child. She's pregnant, so she's got the new kid that's going to become the heir, and he's fearing for his life. So you have this period piece struggle, right? And it's shot beautifully, right? Acting is fine as far as I can tell. I don't know. I mean. The subtitles are spelled correctly, so that's always a plus. So you have this guy that's fighting for his life, right? And you have the evil court that's taking over, and so he's trying to find out the status of his dad. His dad is the king, has disappeared, right? And he's going to search for him, and he finds out that there's a doctor that was taking care of him. So he's venturing off to go to the village to find the doctor, and they get to the village, and it's filled with zombies. Wait, what? So, some boardroom, right? Pitch meeting. They said, what's hot? Korean period pieces. What else? Zombies. That's it. Boom. I mean, it's like, wait, what? I mean, I told my wife about it, and she just started laughing at me. She's like, yeah, right. And I'm going, no, seriously. Even I can't make that kind of crap up. And I'm sorry if it's spoilers, but I mean, considering that's the first thing they show, if you look at the image, you see the warrior guy, and he's holding a sword, and in the reflection of the sword, you see the zombie. So I'm sorry, I'm not giving away. This is not a Sixth Sense, I am your father, kind of Rosebud the Sled giveaway kind of stuff. I mean, this is like they're promoting this, So it goes from this beautifully shot, engaging period piece into flesh being ripped off and consumed. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's absolutely the first episode by far. Yeah. But it's like, wow. I mean, I guess I knew it was coming, but I thought it was gonna be more subtle than that. You know, I didn't think it was gonna like just be like George Romero travels to Korea. You know, makes miniseries. So, does it work? I have to get back to you on that one. It worked so far in the first episode, but I'm not sure where it's gonna go. It almost feels like a bait and switch kind of thing, you know, where you kind of, you know, you have all these characters you get invested with, but then if it just becomes a zombies eat everyone kind of story, then it may kind of boil down into that. So I'll have to get back to you on that one. Oops, that's not right. So I hope it's not like a bait and switch, like, oh, I don't know, Alita. Kind of like zombies stuff, but eventually it got old. Well, I mean, considering there's 487,000 of them, right? I mean, think about it. Before 28 Days Later, right? You know, all you had was the Romero and the Evil Dead, right? That's pretty much all you had. But then 28 Days Later made zombies sexy again with the wait, they can run? I didn't get that memo. Zombies can run? You know, once they introduced that in 28 Days Later, because you always laugh at them, right? In the zombie movies, right? You know, when you see the people stumbling for the 12th time, at that point you start rooting for the zombies, going, yo, seriously, eat them. Come on, they're stupid, right? But, you know, 28 Days Later, when those zombies, right, are running, you know, and you see the two people running away from the zombies, and one person looks at the other person and goes, you know, all I have to do is outrun this guy. You know, I mean, that made for some intense stuff, for sure. You know, we all laugh until they start running. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like, oh, hi there, zombie. Yeah, oh, hey, come on and get me. Here you go, bumbling idiot. And then it's like, yeah, they just put on their sneakers, and you can like, oh, crap. Excuse me. All right. So, is that that's not everything from, so that's top button. I have not made a bottom button yet, have I? No. So let's do that now. Yeah, didn't mean to go off on a tangent there, but it just, that's, you know, what have I watched lately? Started watching Wolf. Wolf looks like there's pretty good action in there. Interesting too, because I mean, I am not knowledgeable when it comes to Turkey. So for me, you know, supposedly Wolf is based on true events, right? You know, it's take it with a grain of salt, you know. I mean, the way it works in Hollywood, whenever they say based on a true story, I always joke that it means that it probably did happen on the third rock from the sun, but anything after that is totally fair game. But, yeah, I mean, if you like, you know, Black Hawk Down, that kind of stuff, Wolf is pretty engaging. And it's just fascinating for me to see a different side to Turkey, you know, a country that I know very little about, right? And it's a period piece that only, I mean, well, I'd say period piece. I mean, it's a factual piece that takes place just a few years back. So it's Wolf, W-O-L-F, as in, oh, right? And that's the name of the team. Yeah. Yeah, the term is a Turkey. There's a word in Turkey that means the same thing, and it's this elite group of soldiers, right? And yeah, I mean, I'm a couple episodes in on that one. It's pretty engaging. I'm really enjoying that one so far. Not heavy on the soap opera stuff. Some of the other ones kind of get bogged down in the soap opera stuff big time. For me, like the last season of Daredevil, I think, got a little talky. Umbrella Academy, I thought, got way talky. You know, too many people just contemplating their feelings versus stuff actually happening. But yeah, Wolf is definitely a lot more intense in the action. At least the first couple episodes. It may slow down after that, but so far it's been pretty interesting. Excuse me. Let's see. So, let's... There you go. Bring them up here. I'll stick them right about there. Bottom buttons. This be player cards. Bob cards. Alright, dual draw button. Pot info, Bob Cash info, betting buttons. That should go all under there. Alright, and then player cash. That should all go on the top. Alright, so if I hide this guy, all the right stuff disappears. If I hide this guy, some of the right stuff disappears. Yeah. Alright. So let me clone these guys. Say tutorial. Like that. All right. Ah. Tutorial. Tutorial. Oh my god, Jessica's cheating on Bjorn with Sven. Medieval soap opera kind of deal. Oh, what's the Norwegian one? What's the Norwegian one? That one's really funny at first, but it sort of becomes like a one note kind of thing. Let's see. All right, now I'm just throwing it out here. This is okay. I'll show my page. You guys, if you care. Russian Doll is fun. It's an interesting Groundhog Day kind of story for the first couple episodes, but at episode 4, it actually gets a lot more interesting, right? The Protector, I watched the first episode. It's pretty good. Another Turkish show, but a little heavy on the characters. But so here's Kingdom. This is what I'm talking about, right? So I mean, it's hard to see here, but there. So yeah, if you look in the sword, the reflection, you can see the zombie there, right? So I'm not giving away spoilers. When they put the zombie on the freaking main picture, I'm not doing spoilers. So yeah, there's Wolf. That was pretty fun. Not done with that one, of course. What else have we been watching? Yeah, Secret City, I gave up on that one. I got about halfway through one episode. But Russian Doll, if you like interesting kind of quirky comedies, and it's the actress that used to be on Orange is the New Black, if you recognize her. So obviously Netflix threw her own show. What else did I watch? Gave up on that one. Ray Romano was funny. I'll watch it while I'm working on something just to see if I like it. Sounds like a fun concept. Yeah, Norseman. That was it. That's what I was thinking of. So Norseman is sort of like what happens if you take the old TV show The Office, right? And you put it in like this ancient old time with Norsemen. So you have like these guys that are having those awkward office-like conversations, right? So this guy sacrifices himself, and the other old guys are all supposed to sacrifice themselves, and they kind of going, yeah, what if we don't actually sacrifice ourselves? You know, maybe the gods aren't really that excited about us doing it, right? So you have, it's just kind of that awkward office-style comedy. And it's funny, but it kind of starts getting repetitive after a while. But the humor, at least for the first few episodes, is actually pretty funny. But, so there you go. That's what I was trying to think of, is Norseman. So, yeah, if you guys got any suggestions, too, anything you see on Netflix, I'm always looking for... I'm scouring that one and Amazon, trying to find new things. Hulu, not so much. There's not as much there. A couple of movies I have bookmarked. I just hate when stories like that try to take themselves too seriously, which eventually happens when a fan base starts following it. Yeah. Lost. Lost is my favorite example of a show that goes completely off the rails, man. It's kind of like, you get involved because you really want to find out what happens to these characters and that thing that's happening, you know, the smoke monster. Oh, no, forget about the smoke monster. It's about this. No, it's about this. And it's like, wait, we're going to go over here. We're going to, like, it's like the show that could never make up its mind. Yeah. Yep. And it's funny because I didn't watch the show for years. I protested the show just because, I mean, as I mentioned before, irony of all ironies, I got nominated for an Emmy for working on Battlestar Galactica, and then we lost to Lost. So I had a vendetta against that show, but when it came on Netflix, I finally like swallowed my pride years later and then watched it. And I kind of like, after I finished it, kind of went, wait, and? You know? It's like two main writers were fighting for when they wanted the story to go. I always thought it was an idea where you had an army of writers that would rotate out, right? And each writer felt like they had to own it, right? You know, so it's kind of like Last Jedi, you know? You remember all that stuff you loved about the previous movies? Yeah, well, here we go. There. Okay, forget about that, right? No, right? Luke, yeah, he's gonna train her? No, he's gonna take a lightsaber and throw in the water. Yeah, no. We're gonna, like, you know, gut everything that we've established over the last couple of, you know, and that's what I thought Lost was like, you know. Every writer had to, like, you know, yeah, that was a stupid idea. I'm gonna kill that off and come up with my own better idea. Yeah, it was exactly the same. Yeah. You know, but most shows do that. There's very few shows that I think that are really good about, I know that TV shows create a Bible, right? They create a Bible so they have, you know, characters should perform this way and should not do this and should do this, right? And I think so many shows just sort of drift after a while. You know, the best ones completely stay on point, right? I mean, I harp on this, but man, Breaking Bad, you know, Walter White, the greatest character arc in all of television is Walter White. I think that is fantastic. That is a man that if you see where he begins and where the show completes, that is a man that goes through a gradual but believable progression of character development, right? And to me, that is the perfect storytelling. Have Luke fight Kilo at the end would have been badass had he actually been there to fight. Oh, never mind. He just force projecting himself and fades away. Yeah, Breaking Bad was top tier. Amen. So, yeah, did you ever hear about what Mark Hamill said? You know, because you probably know this, but Mark Hamill didn't even know that they were going to do that to him, right? I mean, they shot that differently, so he was not even aware until he watched the final edit of the movie that it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess that. So Mark Hamill actually made the joke. He said that when they asked about Luke's fate, you know, it's like, how did you feel about that going the way he did? And he goes, oh, no, it's fine. He goes, yeah, no, Luke is alive. Luke is doing fine. He just teleported himself to a clothing optional planet of people that all use the Force. So so Luke is running around naked on some other planet. Yeah. And just, I mean, I don't know how much of that is him going after Disney and how much is going after the director. You know, I mean, because you got to remember, I mean, that Mark Hamill lived with that character, you know, for the majority of his life at this point, right? You know, so I mean, to have the kid come up and have the director come up and tell him this is what you're going to do, and you know, and kind of going, that's not even close to what I envision him being all about, but okay, you know, I mean, that's got to be tough. You know, at a certain point, you have to just let go and embrace it and see how it goes. But I'm anxious to see what happens on the final one. I'm anxious to see how that plays out. There it is. Tutorial bottom. Top. And bottom. Alright. Let's see if we done fixed that. Kid, director, it both works. Yeah. I mean, it just, and for me, it's not even like I'm bagging on that director because some of his previous movies, I absolutely love. Brick, his first film. I thought Brick was a work of genius. To take a Philip Marlowe story, right, a classic film noir style genre, and shove it into high school, right, without missing a beat, I thought was just a fantastically brilliant ploy, right? And of course, Joseph Gordon-Levitt was starring in it, which, I mean, that dude basically can do no wrong, you know. But I thought that was such a brilliant film, you know. But, yeah. I mean, it just goes to that whole thing of I want to make my, you know, my definitive movie. Okay, how to play.
Kitty.
Cool. Check it out. Everything's snapped into place nicely.
I'll open with 5.
All right, you have a pair of queens. Let's just call. Let's say call.
And you're in. I'll take 3. So how many? You drew 3.
3 of a kind. Is all hard coded. This is a tutorial. Oh wow. So it is covering the buttons here, but I mean, thankfully the button you need to click is actually exposed, so I'm just gonna let this slide. But that's not good.
Another 100 from you.
I mean, it doesn't impede gameplay, at least.
And the moment of truth. You've got 3 of a kind, and I've got a pair. It's all yours.
There you go. All right. So tutorial is good. Hand ranks. That all looks fine. Sound. That's fine. More games. Does that even still work? Oh, it just takes you to my webpage. Okay, so that obviously still works. And then webpage. That's kind of the... Oh, that's the PokeBob webpage. Okay. There you go. And credits. Well, crap. I think that's done. I'll version them up. I'll call this 2.3. Like so. And I will mark them done. Alright, 3:30. So what do I do now? I got basically half an hour to go before my normal sign-off time. Yeah, I don't know if it's worth trying to jump into the whole prototyping concept. I mean, that's such a, I don't know, that's such a giant juggernaut at this point. But he's good, so I'm just going to drop him down. So, I'll kick him out later. Oh, and him as well. Bye-bye, JavaScript. What did you have in mind for the prototype? Well, I can show you. I don't know if you've ever used this, if you toyed with it. It's the Corgi 2D gameplay tool. So what I'm looking at is, and then I was talking about this earlier, so I'm sorry if you guys were here before, but a little bit of a repetition. But I have 2 games that I consider my touchstones for this one. Downwell is one of them. Probably more so than Downwell than Spelunky, but Spelunky is the second one, right? So I want that arcade kind of gameplay, right? Although Downwell, the action's too frantic for me, at least for what I'm going to be doing for my game. I want it to be a little softer than this. This is just insane, like instant reflex kind of action, which, I mean, I love it, but for the audience I'm going for, no. But I mean, I love the fact you have little stores. You can jump in there and then upgrade materials and that kind of stuff. For me, the key difference is actually going to start in the belly of a planet, right? Down in the very core of the planet, and you have to climb your way up, right? So you're going upwards, right? And that will be the gist of it. Your character, which, sorry, still teasing, but your character has been banished and is trying to escape and work their way up. And they'll face all kinds of enemies and, you know, combatants, that kind of stuff. And so you work your way up. So, you know, imagine sort of Downwell and, you know, and some Spelunky kind of mixed in. So, kind of like that. Not as cartoony in terms of graphics. I mean, I love the artwork. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful, but not quite this cartoony. You know, and maybe not as boxy as well, too. But, I mean, tile-based. It'll definitely be tile-based. I like the story. Yeah. And it's going to be pretty simple stuff. I'm not going to have... I'm not planning on much in terms of any kind of backstory, but, I mean, you know, traditionally most mobile games really don't have that much. But I mean, even Spelunky, too. Spelunky is sort of like Downwell in terms of the insane action. No, I'm not going to be at that kind of tempo. Let's go... vertical climbing mobile game. Let's see if we can find some other examples. Pocket Climber, an endless climbing game. No. Vertical. Vertical jumping? How about that? Images. Let's see some other. Yeah, but not like this. I mean, this is this. No, this is like simple platform jumping. That's not what I'm talking about at all. Spelunky 2 is coming out. I don't think Spelunky 2 is. I think that's just a Spelunky spruced up for the PS4. I think too many people build up the plot story first, then work on the game, which I kind of find you're doing it backwards. Yeah, I agree. Let me double check, make sure that I'm not lying about that. But, where is that? Oh, no, sorry, I stand corrected. Spelunky 2. August 28th. Oh, okay. So, interesting. So, yeah, I guess there is a Spelunky 2. Look at that. Ooh, okay, I like that. Just like in general. No, and I take it as such. Yeah, but I wouldn't argue that at all. I've traditionally worked from the idea of there's an idea of a game that I want to build and play myself, and then the story kind of evolves out of that over time. I mean, I've never had a thing where like, oh, here's the story, here's the backstory, here's the character's motivation, and then try and adapt a game to match that. Not the way I've worked. That's pretty. Yep. Okay. So, yeah, I guess that is the case. I guess there is one coming up. How's that vertical mobile jumping game? That's not even close to what I'm thinking of. Alright, so Google is completely failing me here in terms of good examples. How about if I put mobile games in quote? Will that help? Not really. I think it's much better to write something very, very general to begin with. Not like forcing yourself to bend your game around the narrative. Absolutely, I totally agree. Yeah. I mean, if you're dealing with, if you're dealing with intellectual property and they have the ultimate say-so, then yeah, your hands can get tied. Which I'm kind of like that. I mean, with my intellectual property, I had this notion in my head of what I wanted the game to be initially, and my business partner, the one that owns the IP, he told me no. He's like, no, that's just way too much. So I had to dial it back. He wanted something that was much more arcadey, which is what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, I can't find any good examples. Yeah, no. A little bit closer, but still no. I mean, it's just much more of it's still a good tempo, right? It's one of those things that you're constantly trying to rise up. So I am thinking in terms of a game that's playable by casual gamers, but also something that would placate speedrunners as well. I think making a game viable for speedrunners in this day and age is a total win, because if it develops any kind of speedrunner following, you got to remember everyone's going to be doing videos of it, and you got free advertising like crazy. So making a game specifically for that, I think, is a completely wrong move. But making a game, sort of like when you make a game that you tailor to have a first person and a multiplayer kind of concept, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with making the gameplay work well for speedrunning, just as long as that isn't your ultimate focus. Kind of like what you're saying with the with the subject matter. Not letting the game get driven by the story. So I was playing with this recently. I've owned this for a while, but I hadn't really even touched it before much. But I like the controls. Quite frankly, I'm not crazy about the way the camera behaves, but mine is going to be a constantly moving upward camera that's going to be fixed. So whereas this one is following you back and forth, mine is going to be much more of the level is encompassed in this specific section. So it's just going to be going up. Oops. Oh, you can triple jump. Did not know that. Yeah, and the keyboards right now are kind of, it's set to WASD keys, versus for something on a keyboard like this for demo, the space is jump, right? So you'd think the arrow keys would be the tools for moving left and right, but not the case. Okay, fine, I'll go around. I give up. But yeah, this is a really well crafted tool set. Oops. There he goes. There. A little nutty in terms of the amount of... Oh man, those AI do not give you any time, do they? They just automatically shoot the second you're there. Yeah, look at that. That's a little too smart, in my opinion, for the AI. Where am I? Oh, I got this guy and this guy. Yeah. So it's pretty well crafted, and what I have to decide is, am I just going to use the Corgi engine outright, or I'm going to kind of like sort of a la carte it, you know, just take little sections of it and make use of that, and then roll my own. I prefer not to do everything from scratch, obviously, but let's find a better example. Something, yeah, like lava. Or is that where I just was? Oh, that's where I just was. You're an idiot. Oh, idiot. Oh, God. Alright. Die, jerk. Alright, let me see if I can switch. I don't know if a way offhand aside from just beating it to get to a different level, but look, I'm going after coins. Look at that. Like, it matters. It doesn't show any high score. Stable genius. You take that back. You take that back. Let's check out the mountains. Again, let me go. Let me try this. Boom. So yeah, it's very clean. I mean, it behaves really nicely. Whoops, and I can die. So, oh, that's annoying. The jump and the activate conversation, that's kind of stupid because you're like right there on the edge. So you're trying to jump and you just trigger him instead. Uh-oh. Oh, hey, that works. Can I push it, or are we gonna just shoot it? Oh, weird. Look at that. So you can tell he's a 2D sprite when he physically switches like that. That's kind of different. Oh, yeah, there you go. You can shoot him. Oh, that's a collapsing. Okay. Does it ever collapse? There it goes. And there's our exit. So, yeah, that's the Corgi engine. So, just kind of think in terms of, like, this would be more like the layout, right? And it's just a vertical, so you're going to start right there. I think it'd be a little further back than this. You know, so it's, you know, there'd be a little more real estate in terms of the left and right. And it's just a matter of working your way up. Excuse me. I like this side grabs kind of stuff, so I'll probably incorporate that. But, you know, in terms of all the specifics, not quite sure yet. You 104%. Oh, okay. That's an oldie but a goodie. Yeah. You know, look at that. You know, you reverse one fraction and you get a bad value and you never live it down. So, yes, I promise to give 104% this weekend when I'm playing video games. Yeah. Well, and I think what I'm shooting for is also a game that is not going to take me, you know, years to make. You know, I'm going to never see the end of it. So, you know, it's, you know, my partner, I told him I would basically have something ready for show and tell by San Diego Comic-Con, which is in July. So, you know, I got my work cut out for me in terms of making something playable, semi-polished. I'll probably, I've been learning these terms. I'll probably be using gray box stuff, you know, If you don't know, gray box term is gray box is where you're using more placeholder. You know, I would just say it the way I used to. I'm going to be using placeholder graphics to begin with, and then eventually once I get the look set up, you know, in terms of the scale of the tiles themselves and the characters and that kind of stuff. Once I get that nailed down, then I'll start worrying about getting the proper art and replacing it. We do gray box too when they're first put in. Yeah. I'm old, so I still say placeholder. I'm not like cool like you young kids. Yeah, I do remember that. Which I think is a fine idea. I mean, there's absolutely no reason to sit there and just create a ton of content up front when you know that things can change on you, for sure. I mean, and that's what I did with the Valley Village, right? If I don't even know if I can find an old prototype of that. Let's see. Builds PC. Let's go back all the way back to 2.5. I don't even know if this will run. We'll see. I say placeholder 2. Maybe we're adapting faster than I am. Alright, let's see what this looks like. No, this is still kind of the newer graphic. Oh, so this is kind of funny. This is still showing some of the... so originally, the characters were rendered sprites, right? So I actually render all these in 3D. So you can see them turning the wheel, right? In an older version. They used to be like side by side like this. But yeah, you can see they're just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, like 4 or 5 frames of animation just cycling through. He has eyes! Yeah, he used to have eyes. Yeah, before the helmet came down and they all went eyeless. But yeah, this is like an ancient old version. I was trying to find the one that I had even before this, but I don't even know if it still survived. 2.5. Yeah, that was October 2016. Let's go back down to game. 05, 03, 02, 01. Let's see. 316. Oh, here we go. 2015. Holy crud. So it's even further back than I thought it was, isn't it? July 5th, 2015. So, let's see. I wonder if I can even load this up. I know it's going to be like an ancient old version. How big is the file? Should I bring it over locally? It is... Whoa! 200 gig? Never mind. In the Kingdom of the Blind, the one-eyed man is king. Does that mean Cyclops is king? That's funny. The thrower Cyclops. There you go. Let's see. So let's see, assets, and I don't need library. So let me try and bring this over. I'm just curious now. Documents. Valley Village old. And that's totally backwards. I don't care. So, in theory, we could just grab assets and project settings and drag them in and skip the library and see if we can get that generated on the fly. Let's see how long this will take. Yeah, I don't even know what version of Unity. If it was like 4-land or what. Blue screen! What up, buddy? You should make a copy of the Dota 2 mod auto chess. It would do really well. Nice. Let's see. Wow, that's gonna go for a while. Alright. I still think it should be kind of fun. Alright, I'll load Valley Village back up in the meantime. Alright, so while that's transferring over... While that's transferring over, I'm going to do another quick restroom break. But, yeah, hang tight. I'll be right back, guys. All right. Hey, I don't see. Oh no, it's still going. Let's see how long this is gonna be. Oh, that's not too bad. Just a couple minutes. All right. So yeah, this is way back. We'll see what it looked like way back when. But the whole point I was trying to make was the fact that I was using total placeholder stuff in my first iteration. And like insanely, I mean, like no villagers, right? It was just blow up the islands and then game over, right? And it was funny in the beginning, everyone was like getting like exasperated. They played the game. It's like, why can't I shoot the tower, right? And it's like, well, if you shoot the tower, then the game's over, right? This can be the world's most boring game. If you take out the, you know, if that's it, if you could just shoot the tower right off the start, then, you know, then you just have like, then it's just like a gunfight, you know, gunfight the OK Corral kind of thing. You know, in that case, just go download Ready, Steady, Bang. Did you guys ever play that game? Ah. Ready, Steady, Bang. That one was awesome. So simple. It's one of those games you look at and you just kick yourself going, why did I not invent this one? Right? This one, pure genius. Look at that. 124,000 reviews. Not downloads, just reviews. So his downloads are in the millions, I'm sure. Let's check this out. Yeah, over 1 million downloads. Right? There you go. Let's see. Just get to it. Come on, buddy. There. Boom. I mean, that's it. It's one tap, right? It's just ready, steady, bang, right? And you can't do it too soon, otherwise you automatically lose. If you fire too soon, then you have like a misfire, you miss, and then the other person just gets to shoot you outright. I love the little death animations. So yeah, if I'd have let people shoot the tower right from the get-go, then it would have been just, you know, ready, steady, bang. All right, so I did finish transferring over. I can't even remember what version of Unity I used in this originally, because this is literally years ago. Launch editor. Oh, it's 5.1. This actually may load. That's cool. I may be able to fire this up. But yeah, it's such a simple game, but just so beautifully done. How did these other games do? 84,000. Wow. Look at that. 5 million. Holy crap. Guys, I'm doing it wrong. Wow. Yeah. Simple is good, man. Simple is good. You know, I think there's a lot to be said to that. You know, I mean, you know, my most successful game, the entire game is just touch the screen and turn it like that, you know, and that's the one that had, you know, 6 million downloads. So, but the challenge then becomes, how do you make a game that literally is just a one finger touch, right, or whatever that gesture is, but then still make it engaging enough, right, there's enough content that people want to come back, right? To me, that is the ultimate balancing act, which I have no clue how to master, but this gentleman at Noodle Cake has done a fantastic job. Let's see about this other one here. How about this one? Really? 10 million? Seriously? 10 million. Wow. Alright, a piece of interactive art satisfies the soul. Excuse me. Well, that's always good, right? Alright, can we see the game? Oh, it looks pretty. Oh, there it goes. Alright, so yeah, it's a standard slide down jump kind of game. but just done eloquently, and apparently at the right place, the right time, because that is profound. 10 million, over 10 million installs. Wow. That's it, guys. We're doing it wrong. Our game went the wrong direction. Yeah, he's the guy that's like, you talking to your friends. He's like, yeah, I want to brag, but my latest game had like over 1 million downloads, and the other guy goes, I had 1 million downloads in the time it took me just to say this sentence. Oh, jerk. All right, hey, let's see. Scenes, Valley Village. Check it out. There it is. This is Valley Village in the early days. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, and back then too. So a couple of different things. Obviously, you see there's no secondary stuff. Yeah, I know. There's no secondary stuff, right? The bouncing, which you see now, right? The bouncing buildings help give you an idea of the stuff that you want to focus on, right? But the bouncing is actually just a remnant of originally where I had it where you had to hit the buildings twice to blow them up, right? So I just reused that little bounce cycle and just left it in there, which is stupid because I'm using DoTweens, and in reality I should actually switch that to an animation and not take the performance hit, but oh well. But yeah, so this is what yeah, let's see. I'll select red. Waiting for an opponent. Okay. Oh, yeah, so literally, okay, so you have, here's your direction, and the power meters bounces, like the old golf games used to do. Oh, and you can hit the balls. You see that? You can actually hit the balls out of the air. Uh-oh, it broke already. There it goes. Whoops. Oh, I had to be behind it. Okay. So yeah, originally the cannonballs were kind of cool. You could actually shoot them out of the air, but once I went to multiplayer, I realized that really was not much of an option, since a lag could just make that completely unworkable. So oh, but yeah, so here's the interesting thing. So if you look at the buildings, you can kind of recognize the general look of them, right? But kind of similar but different, right? You can see some inspiration from it. But the funny thing is this is actually an art set that because I had literally like a week and a half before San Diego Comic-Con, and I wanted to do this, so I threw it together in literally a week and a half time. And I used a bunch of pre-made models, and originally I had the 3D models in there, and it just cratered the frame rate even on PC. So then I just did quick renderings of them in Lightwave and just dropped them in as sprites, and that's what sort of inspired me to do the whole sprite thing. And I'm talking, but he's just destroying me, isn't he? But you can see how, like, archaic the controls were, right? Boom. And and of course the islands are floating up in the air, right? Originally I had the idea that they were like these giant floating islands, but no one ever picked up on the fact that they were like up in the air. That never registered for anyone, right? That was kind of a waste. So that's when I ended up switching it to the water, because that was much more obvious. Oops, that's a bad shot. There he goes. All right. So, but I mean, and then you can understand why I thought of the idea of adding the other elements, because in this game, if you start falling behind, right, if you fall 4 buildings behind, you're gonna quit, right? Like this point, I'm down to 1 building, so I know I'm gonna lose. I got no chance here, right? And that was the first thing that tipped me off, because the playtester people, there's no Bimley yet. What a piece of garbage. It's Bimley free. Uh-oh. Yes, he's already shooting me. Look at that. And it's game over. Here it is. Boosh. And then it sinks. There you go. But, I mean, what you're looking at is literally like a week and a half for the prototyping. So I'm still very proud of the fact that I was able to throw this together in such a short time. And all the graphics were just like placeholder, of course. I mean, this is definition of gray box. But this is where it originally began, and then it was just a matter of trying to figure out how to, evolve it, right? And now you can kind of get a sense of, like, the corn, the hay, and the sheep, that came about as an incentive to make a winner stick around and not finish off the other guy. The villagers, originally the idea was the villagers were just going to be like cheerleading. The original idea was that they would just stand on the island and then like jump up and down, right? And then I kind of went, well, then why are they even there, right? It's kind of silly, So then it's like, oh, then I made that one fateful decision. It's like, what if they actually could repair the buildings? And as soon as I did that, man, that was feature creep from hell. That turned, a game that was almost done into a game that like went for forever. And then compounding that with the online component, right? It's just, I went down that rabbit hole, and had so much to learn. But, I hopefully it makes a better game, Oh, and hard. So hard, check this out. Hard, the buildings, the islands actually subtly lift up and down. So originally I was going to have this as a feature too, but then I realized I had to program the AI to calculate where the island was and adjust its shot to accommodate that. And I was like, yeah, no, never mind. I'm not going to bother doing that, And even the float is just so subtle, it really didn't have that much effect anyways. Let's go. So, and I have this in case it's like two people want to play, because this is designed to be at a game, at a conference or a, it's some kind of convention. So that gave an opportunity for the other person to step up and play. Oh, shoot. You should have a classic mode that looks like this. Really? I mean, I thought about doing one like of an actual turn-based kind of approach. But I think, once again, the turn-based has the same problem, is that, why do I even bother keep playing if I'm falling so far behind? But, yeah, it's funny. So, you see the little swash and stretch. That is what I just, just out of simplicity is why I recycled it for... Because I had a hard time for... When I added all the new content, people didn't know what they were supposed to be shooting, right? And that became an issue. So, if you make something move, right, then human nature is, oh, there's a target. Boom. And he's still wiping me, isn't he? He's just like beating the crap out of me. Yeah. And I think the blown up versions I had to like put together really fast. So I just like rendered something out very quickly and then just like took it into Photoshop and darkened it up. I mean, this really was a race with time. I think I finished it like a day or two before the convention. Maybe a map skin later where it's a floating island instead. That would be cool. Yeah. I would have to, but like I said, I would have to do some major overhauls on the AI to accommodate that. Oh, wow. Yeah, it does change your targeting for sure. Boom. Hey, I got a chance this time. Whoops. That was an errant shot. You're going down, buddy. I mean that literally. The island's going to go down. But yeah, so originally the idea would be the villagers are going to stand around and cheerlead, right? And then they would react based on what your, what your shots do, right? If they do hit or if they miss, right? Which is kind of funny because I ended up putting that into the launchers. Oh, he broke! He broke. Check him out. There's a bug. The AI stopped firing. I'm definitely going to win now. Just take my time. So the idea I had for the villagers originally ended up transferring to the launchers. So now if you look at the dragon, the kraken, or the cyclops characters, right? When they do a shot, they react now, right? They sort of like, they'll do like a, yeah, right? If they hit an island, or they'll do like a, right? Roll their eyes kind of thing if they miss. So it was just kind of fun to be able to take an idea that I had for the villagers, which I had to remove because the villagers too busy, loading the catapult, or repairing buildings to do anything else. But so I can beat him when he's not shooting. Oh, maybe. That should do it. There's one. And game over. Die, AI. There he goes. So, there you go. I guess the whole point of that was just to talk about the fact that I totally agree with the gray box kind of thing. So this was, all these pieces were just pieces that I found. I paid like $20 in the asset store for these, and then I just sort of like stripped them down and kind of tweaked them. But now if you look at the game I have now, you can kind of recognize some of the components of these guys, right? They've changed a little bit here and there, but it's still pretty recognizable. So there you go, man. That is back in the day, and that was 2015. Right, so it was 3.5 years ago. That's even more embarrassing. All right, the next game will not take 3.5 years, I promise. If it does, I've really done something wrong. But, there you go. Where are we at? And we're a few minutes after 4. All right, you guys got anything else you want to talk about? I'm going to wrap up otherwise. That kind of stalling. Better give 104% or more. 104%. No. I'm going to give it all. I'm not going to just like halfway do it with only 104. No. I'm talking pure. Yeah, but so my goal now is this weekend is 2 things. All. Yeah. I've been like, just dogging it up to now. So 2 goals. Number 1 is to properly flesh out what I want the new prototype game to be all about. Number 2, to play some video games. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I guess I'll let you guys know if you want to watch me embarrass myself play some Uncharted 2, just for old time's sake. You guys can join me for sure. We're going above 104%. What kind of madness is this? The dilithium crystals are glowing like crazy. Yes, do it. Okay, cool, man. I'll do it. That can be fun. I'll probably drop by. Okay. Yeah. It'll be. Yeah. Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna go for a run. It started finally warming up. I can go back outside and go jogging again. So I'm gonna do that now. Let's see, I may do it tonight. I may just like start it up a little while and just see how far I can go. But I'll definitely come at it a little more this weekend. But yeah, so this is what the new and improved Volley Village looks like now. No. Where I was. And let's go ahead and go from there to where I am now. Wait for it. Oh yeah, and I have to fix the Apple stuff. Jerks. Alright. So that was the old... I don't know if you noticed, but the Volley Village, the way it swings in, that was happening even in that version 1.0 kind of thing. So that did make it across. But so kind of a funny thing you can see. Now you see the bouncing, right, which I use as a tool to help the player focus on what he should be looking for. And it's good just for peripheral, right? So if you're like focusing on your cannon to see where you are in terms of reload, but then periphery you can see the movement off to the side, then you know you have a target there. But in reality, it is just a leftover item from back when the buildings took more than one hit. So kind of funny. And then just very toonified. That's the big thing, is that I went much more toony. And the villagers. With, of course, Bimley. Bimley's the favorite, I know. Except for me. The wizard. The wizard's cool. Alright, guys. I think that'll do it for me. We are right after 4 o'clock, so... yeah, so keep an eye out. I'll throw it up there on here. Of course, it pops up, but I'll throw it up on Discord as well. That I'm going to do some game playing for the first time since I don't know. I mean, every now and then I'll do some goofing on the iPad or the Android tablet. But, I mean, those are like little 30-second in-between kind of things. But I'm going to do some proper gaming this weekend. So I hope you guys can come back. Otherwise, come back on Monday. Oh, speaking of Discord... I think most of you guys are already part of this anyways, but I'll throw it out there for anyone else that's just kind of lurking back there in the background. There is the Discord channel. Please come on over to Discord. I'm trying to bring that thing to life. So the more, the merrier. Come over to Discord if you want to reach me offline. That is the best way to find me. I'll be right there. You want to talk about video games? You want to talk about anything? Movies, TV? Yeah, maybe not politics. I'm not a big public discusser of politics. But aside from that, yeah, come hang out over there. Let's see. Anything else I want to talk about? I think that's it. I just throw the old website here in case you want to check it out. There's the website. There's me. But yeah, I think I'll wrap it up there. All right, guys. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend. Come back and laugh at me while I embarrass myself in Uncharted 2 land. And I probably put a lower setting because I'm a total wuss. I'm old. My reflexes are bad. Seeing Violet Village so close to being live is exciting, man. Thanks, man. Long time coming. Long time coming. But happy to be here, finally. All right, man. Thanks again for everyone hanging out with me. Thank you so much for the chat, man. It just makes it so much fun for me. Take care of yourselves, and if I don't see you over the weekend, hopefully I see you guys next week, all right? You guys take care. Adios.
Game over, Shane. My name is Wally. I'm a wizard, and you know I've been around. So don't be talking shit, or I'ma have to put you down. I've got a magic wand, and I rock it like a mace, and then I'll hop onto my dragon, and we'll torch the whole place. I'm an old boss. So they shower me with riches. I got magic in these fingers. Just ask my 20 bitches. Game over, Shane. It's game over, Shane. Turn the power on.